Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles are available at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. They probably have the vehicle you've been looking for. And right now, make no payment for 60 days on the new or used vehicles. And now, take $500 off any new or used vehicle when you mention this radio ad. Yes, this radio ad is worth $500. Be sure to mention it when you arrive at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. Located at 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at ClassicVWGastonia.com. See their page at WhatsUpShopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Looking for your dream home? Look to Gates Realty and Auction in Lincoln. Robert Gates can help make your dreams come true. Robert has over 30 years combined real estate and auction experience and is licensed in North Carolina. Visit their website at gatesauction.com and check out the latest listings available. We're sure there's one for you and your family. Gates Realty and Auction. Call 866-735-1977 and let Robert Gates help make your dreams come true.
Sold America.
Come see the all-new Bobcat CT1021 and CT1025 compact tractors. Now available at West End Sales in Vail. It's great for maneuvering around the barn, sheds, and landscaping. It's perfect for mowing. Features include 4-wheel drive and a 21 and 25 horsepower diesel engine with hydrostatic transmission. See it today at West End Sales, Highway 18 North in Vail. Online at westendSales.com. See their page at WhatsUpShopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
What's the best way to explain the golf at Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden? It's world-class golf for the working class. Yes, golf is never better than it is at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden, with special programs for seniors, men, ladies, and juniors, plus a driving range, banquet facilities, and a swimming pool, picnic area, and more. For your tee time or other questions, call 828-428-2451. The Glen Oaks Golf Course, 245 Golf Course Road in Maiden. It's world class for the working class.
For the best selection in town, head to the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. They've got it. Right now, take 15% off all Christmas items in their Christmas shop. Check out their ammo section, including 9mm 223s, 12 gauge, BBs, and pellets, plus all kinds of name brand power tools for Dad. And right now, they have some used Bobcat mowers, and coming soon, Milwaukee tools and their brand new greenhouse. And don't forget about the big mulch yard at the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too.
Good evening and welcome to David Clark Stadium on the campus of East Lincoln High School. It's football Friday night and it's the only game in the Charlotte area. East Lincoln, after destroying Kings Mountain last week, the #1 team in 3A in the state, is hosting the South Point Red Raiders. It's kind of a Christmas battle here. We've got the Red Raiders and the green of East Lincoln. Perfect for a December football game.
Yes, sir. Good observation already off the top of the broadcast.
I'm Dave Potter along with Matt Chapman. We'll be bringing you the game tonight on WCSL in Cherryville and KTCBroadcasting.com. You can catch us online or over the air if you're in the Cherryville area. So we've got quite a matchup here. We've got South Point coming in at 13-1. Their one loss was to Kings Mountain earlier this season in the regular season. East Lincoln, 14-0. Everybody thought they were untested. They went into last week's game and everybody realized, hey, this team's good.
Yeah, they definitely made a statement last week on the road against the top team in the Western region. 46-7 at one point early in the third quarter, and so not even as close as the final 26-point deficit.
Yeah, and they weren't just the number one team in the region. They were the number one seed, but they were number one in the 3A rankings in Max Prep. They were 9th overall, regardless of class. So they were up there with all the 4A teams.
Yeah.
The loss last week kind of dropped them down to number 22. So they went down 13 spots with that loss last week.
Yeah, I'd say they were probably the consensus top team, start to finish from the very beginning of the season. And then they were also, I saw, number one in the Charlotte Observer poll that they do every week over all the 4A schools out there as well.
Wow, that's impressive considering how good Huff and some of the other teams in the Charlotte area were this year. So looking at these two teams coming in, we've got 4 common opponents. This is pretty unusual to see two teams this deep in the playoffs who have played this many common opponents. They've played Lincolnton, Forest View, Hickory, and Kings Mountain. And as we mentioned, South Point did drop a 31-20 game against Kings Mountain back in October, which essentially decided the conference championship in that league. But all the rest of the games, if you look at them, they're blowouts. 28-13, South Point and Lincolnton was probably the closest one other than the Kings Mountain loss. Of course, East Lincoln's just come in and cleaned everybody out. The closest game I think they've had 14, 16, 20 points, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was that Hickory game, maybe first conference game of the season, I think it was.
And that wasn't even that close because they gave up a late defensive touchdown. It was a turnover that got returned for a score. So it wasn't even something you could charge to the defense. But that's probably the closest game they had all year. North Lincoln they had well handled. Everybody else, St. Stephen's, a lot of times there were quite a few games, even in the playoffs, where they had a running clock.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking on my way out here, it's not very often that a team makes a run all the way to the state championship game and they're not tested at some point in the playoff run. And East Lincoln hasn't played a close game yet in these playoffs.
No, they haven't. I've had the privilege of doing all their games in the playoffs, and they come out, they take care of business in the first half, and then it's just cruise control, just trying to kill the clock. And that's why Kings Mountain got a couple touchdowns in the second half last week. They were trying to just run the clock out. They weren't trying to do much defensively, don't make mistakes, and it gave Kings Mountain the ball enough times, and I think that East Lincoln defense might have gotten a little tired.
Oh yeah, they were on the field all day long with the offense scoring as explosively as it was. I think 3 different drives they scored on the very first play.
Yeah, they had the 40-yard run by Daly, they had the 60-yard run by Daly, the 80-yard run by Daly, and the 94-yard touchdown pass to Markel Clark. Oh, and there was a punt return that was returned for a touchdown. There was a pass to Keandre Walker for a touchdown. I mean, it was just every facet of the game. They did a great job with it. So, coming up here on the Stadium Pregame Show, brought to you by Bean Brothers Hardware of Lincolnton. Next up, we're going to have our coaches' interviews. We're going to talk to both coaches during this week. First up will be the visiting coach, Adam Hodge from South Point, and then the home coach, David Lubowitz, who's been on the show many times this year. So we'll go to those interviews, and we'll be back with more pregame after these timeouts. I heard the stadium, but I couldn't get to it. I'm getting over my 36.
What's the best way to explain the golf at Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden? It's world-class golf for the working class. Yes, golf is never better than it is at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden, with special programs for seniors, men, ladies, and juniors, plus a driving range, banquet facilities, and a swimming pool, picnic area, and more. For your tee time or other questions, call 828-428-2451. The Glen Oaks Golf Course, 245 Golf Course Road in Maiden. It's world-class for the working class.
For the best selection in town, head to the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. They've got it. Right now, take 15% off all Christmas items in the Christmas shop. Check out their ammo section, including 9mm 223s, 12 gauge, BBs, and pellets, plus all kinds of name brand power tools for Dad. And right now, they have some used Bobcat mowers. And coming soon, Milwaukee Tools and their brand new greenhouse. And don't forget about the big mulch yard at the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too.
Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia has just gotten a whole lot bigger, and we mean a whole lot bigger. They have just purchased MS Power Sports in Gastonia and are now your dealer for Honda, Suzuki, and Kawasaki, along with CF Moto, Yamaha, and Polaris. Golf carts too. One big dealer under one big roof.
Tired of pests and bugs around your house? Do you see signs of termites, wet basement or crawl space, mold or mildew? Call the best. Call Neeline Cole, a local termite and pest control and moisture and water control business located in Bowling Springs. Voted the best for 12 years running. They have the skills and experience to help make your home more comfortable, to save you money on your energy bills, or to inspect a home you're buying for prior or present costly damage. Call Neeline Cole today at 704-434-9411 for a free estimate. Use the best. Neeline Cole, proudly serving the Carolinas.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano, and if you're looking for affordable, quality equipment, James River delivers.
Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, James River has the John Deere mowers, tractors, Gator utility vehicles, and implements you need to get it done fast. Plus, with low-rate financing and big cash rebates, James River makes owning a John Deere just as easy as it is to operate. Request a quote online at jamesriverequipment.com.
James River delivers affordable quality.
And now joining us on a Stadium pregame show brought to you by Barrett's Floor Covering of Kings Mountain, we have the coach of the South Point Red Raiders, Adam Hodge. Coach, thanks for joining us on the pregame.
Yeah, man.
You're coming into the game with a 13-1 record, a great season. Tell us a little bit about your team and how they do things. Offensively, it's pretty much a rushing attack, isn't it?
Well, we run the triple option, the flex bone, the red bone, what we call it. And, we run the football a lot, but we will throw it from time to time, just depending on what they give us. If we feel good about running it, we'll run it. But sometimes people get a little greedy, and so we'll throw it too.
Okay, and then defensively, I was trying to do a comparison between you and Kings Mountain. Kings Mountain seems to be much more aggressive defense, if I have that correctly. Looking at your defense, it's more kind of a bend but don't break sort of thing.
Well, at times we can load it up like they do. They are very aggressive. That's just their style. They're very aggressive. They run a 50 a lot, and a 61 a lot, and they like to be aggressive. And we'll get aggressive some, but we try to be a little more balanced. Try not to give up big plays and things like that.
And you've had a really good run in the playoffs here, especially 72 points against Dudley. That's pretty amazing in a high school football game.
Yeah, they're athletic. They scored 40. They were scoring too, but that was a good high school football game. Both teams came out and played really hard, and we were down 21-6 in the first quarter, and then just got rolling, and we never really looked back after that.
Okay, and who are some of your star players? I see you've got two players offensively that really carried the load for you, your quarterback and your running back.
Well, our quarterback and fullback primarily carry the football for us, but we do have wingbacks that get to pitch when it's gets to that third option, and of course we got some receivers too. But our fullback Cam Medlock's a great kid, just a wonderful young man. Been a horse all season, and really has done a great job. Great leader, loves the game, loves his teammates. Really, just a fine young man. Couldn't be prouder than I am with Cam. And of course, our quarterback's a freshman, Patrick Lee, and they're really pretty similar in their builds, him and Cam. Cam actually played a little quarterback last year, but Patrick's had a good year. He came in after the Langston game. He came in at the end of the Langston game, and he started ever since. So our quarterback broke his collarbone against Langston. Our original starter broke his collarbone, and Patrick went in there and did a good job. And then he just got better and better and better and better, and he started every game, and he's done a great job, and we sure are excited about his future. We got some good offensive linemen. We got a kid going to Notre Dame named Sullivan Absher, a really good player for us. But we got some good offensive linemen. We got some good receivers, good tight end, and we just got to execute. That's the whole name of the game for us. Is we got to execute. When we execute well, we do good. And, you go to put the ball on the ground, things like that, you get in trouble in this offense.
And defensively, you've created quite a few turnovers, 13 interceptions, 10 fumbles recovered. That certainly will help your offense as well.
Yeah, anytime you can win the turnover battle, you stand a better chance of winning the game. My old coach, Coach Divine, used to say, if you get 3, you got a 93% chance of winning. I remember that as a player. That's been a while ago. But, if you can get a couple turnovers, you really help yourself out, give your offense more opportunities to score. Of course, we're going to run the ball a lot, so we're going to eat up the clock, which limits their possession. So every turnover is really huge when you run offense like we do. So we preach that. We preach turnovers. We got a great defense coordinator, Brian Andrews, been a Red Raider for a long time, and so he does a great job. And we just got to get some turnovers, take care of the ball.
And now this week, tonight, you have East Lincoln. They come in undefeated and coming off a big win against Kings Mountain. What do you know about East Lincoln? Looking here, you have several common opponents this year.
Well, we actually, believe it or not, we did a 7-on-7 with East Lincoln this summer. So they are good. Their quarterback is really something. He can throw the football. Of course, he can hurt you with his legs as well. The running back is a tremendous player. Of course, they got some receivers, number 3 and number 2, really good receivers. And, and number 8 is a good receiver. And 5 is a good receiver. So they got real good receivers. They got a good running back and a good quarterback. Big offensive linemen, especially the left guard, a big kid. So they got some kids that can really play. And you can't give up big plays. I think that's something that really hurt the week before was just this huge, one-play drives. You just can't let that happen. You got to live to play another down, and that's something we're going to have to do a good job of. Defensively, they're long. That's what I noticed about them. They got a lot of length to them. 58 is just a long kid. Number 2, long kid. 4 is a good player. They got some length to them. So, we're going to have to take care of the football and get 4 yards every time we touch it and try to, keep the football as much as possible and limit their explosive weapons on offense.
Well, Coach, we thank you for joining us on the pregame show brought to you by Barrett's Floor Covering of Kings Mountain, and best wishes in the game tonight.
Well, thank you, and go Big Red.
Now joining us on the pregame, the coach of tonight's home team, the East Lincoln Mustangs, back at home again, David Lubowitz, and this segment is brought to you by Bean Brothers Hardware of Lincolnton. Coach, glad to have you on for the 6th straight week.
Hey, I'm glad to be on for the 6th straight week. I hope we can make it 7.
Well, things have been going good. Going through the playoffs like you did, you're 14-0. You're in the state semifinals or the regional final, West Regional Finals, however you want to refer to it. It's been quite a season so far, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. No, more than I think a lot of people dreamed of. And, just the kids have been amazing, and things have really just worked out really well this year.
So you go down to Kings Mountain last Friday night, and basically you stunned a couple thousand people or more.
Yeah, I think not only the ones in attendance, but I think the ones watching online and the ones following along. I think everybody in that stadium and outside of that stadium was stunned. I mean, I knew we had a chance. We talked last week of pulling it off. I think we were good enough, but I mean, I had no idea that we were going to be able to bounce on top of them like that fast and that quick.
Yeah, and the big plays were the thing. I mean, Chris Daly with 4 long touchdown runs, Keandre Walker with an interception return and a touchdown catch, and then a 94-yard touchdown pass to Markel Clark. Every time we turned around, it was like, they're gone.
Yeah. I mean, it was, we were fast. You know, we've known we were fast. Not a lot of teams have tried to cover us with no safeties. And Kings Mountain, I think, thought they had us athletically beat, so they came out, no safeties, and, no real help over the top. So when we did break something, it went big. But they also, when they started stopping us late in the game, they were stopping us late in the game because they were committing so many people to the box. But, yeah, we showed off some speed last week.
But coming off a big victory over Kings Mountain like that, what do you do to keep their attention on the task at hand and avoid a letdown?
We try. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. In the past, we've tried to give them one day to celebrate, but literally after the Kings Mountain game was over, we tried to focus them right there and say, that we've got more football to play. And started talking about, we heard the South Point score kind of early on the way home, so we started talking to them about South Point and just getting them off of the Kings Mountain. It was amazing what they did. I was very proud of the kids, but I think this group is pretty special, and we had to move on as fast as we could. So we just started talking South Point as quick as we possibly could.
And speaking of South Point, this is a team, again, they're not balanced at all, but boy, they do what they do well with that Redbone offense. Almost 5,000 yards rushing or some ridiculous number like that.
It's really impressive to watch film on them. See, they're very disciplined up front. They're big up front. The fullback, number 7, runs really hard. The quarterback's a really good runner. He's, I think, the second quarterback for them. I think the older guy got hurt. This kid's a freshman. But they're just very disciplined. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to run at you, find different ways to manipulate the defense, and, they're going to get their yards. That's for sure.
Is there any team you face this year that might be helpful in what you need to do to play defense against South Point's offense?
We face similar stuff. So at the beginning of the year, we played High Brighton. They run a similar type of offense. They don't do as much with their formations as South Point does, but they run double wing, triple option. And the North Lincoln there at the end, they do run some of the similar formations, but the plays are the same. So they're running veer, they're running midline, they're running toss. They're running counters. They're running all the same kind of stuff. So we've seen the offense before, which is good because this is not an offense that you want to face for the first time in the 5th round.
And then facing South Point defensively, what are some of the things that you think you can accomplish against them?
Yeah, I think it's, again, we talked a couple weeks back about some good defenses are really aggressive, like Kings Mountain. Kings Mountain had a really good defense. They were super aggressive. South Point is a bend, don't break, similar to some of our defenses in the past. They don't blitz too much, but their players are all downhill, so they'll kind of let plays develop, and then they just attack it with reckless abandon. They get a lot of hats to the football. So I think if we're patient and we take what they give us and, limit the mistakes, I think we'll have some success against them.
Well, that explains what I'm seeing with them stat-wise, because Kings Mountain had a ton of tackles for loss, but then you look at South Point, and it's not near the number of them. But then you've got a team that has really shut a lot of people down this year. So you knew they had a different style. I was just kind of curious what that might be.
Yeah, offensively, they like to grind the clock. Defensively, they just kind of wait for you to make a mistake or wait for you to get impatient and try and go deep, or they'll sit their safety back and they'll play their cover 3 and they get into a little bit of man, but they really just let their athletes run around and cause turnovers and tackle you for 2 or 3 yards and make you line up again.
And, of course, you've got to be looking forward to playing at home one more time in front of your fans. That's got to be real special to get this far and have another home game.
Yeah, I'm super excited, and the kids have talked too. As soon as the Kings Mountain game ended, they wanted to. They knew if we won, we were going to be home because it was an 11 and a 22 or 25 playing. So I think the kids are even more excited than the coaches are. But the coaches are very excited, and the kids are they're really excited. They like to play in front of their home crowd. They like to play in front of big crowds. They like to play in front of their parents and their aunts and their uncles and all that stuff. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting for them.
Well, this segment, again, brought to you by Bean Brothers Hardware of Lincolnton. Coach Lubowitz, thanks for joining us, and good luck in the game tonight.
Thank you, David.
For the best selection in town, head to the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. They've got it. Right now, take 15% off all Christmas items in their Christmas shop. Check out their ammo section, including 9mm 223s, 12 gauge, BBs, and pellets, plus all kinds of name brand power tools for Dad. And right now, they have some used Bobcat mowers. And coming soon, Milwaukee Tools and their brand new greenhouse. And don't forget about the big mulch yard at the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too. Since 1993, Jeff's Auto Sales has been serving this area with the finest in late model cars, trucks, SUVs, and more. Locally owned and operated too. With 2 locations to serve you. Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall, and on Highway 27 East in Lincoln. And financing is no problem. See how easy it is to get your next vehicle for as little as $500 down. You heard right, as little as $500 down. Jeff's Auto Sales. Check out their complete inventory at jeffsautosales.com.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles are available at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. They probably have the vehicle you've been looking for. And right now, make no payment for 60 days on the new or used vehicles. And now, take $500 off any new or used vehicle when you mention this radio ad. Yes, this radio ad is worth $500. Be sure to mention it when you arrive at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. Located at 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at ClassicVWGastonia.com. See their page at WhatsUpShopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Looking for your dream home? Look to Gates Realty and Auction in Lincoln. Robert Gates can help make your dreams come true. Robert has over 30 years combined real estate and auction experience and is licensed in North Carolina. Visit their website at gatesauction.com and check out the latest listings available. We're sure there's one for you and your family. Gates Realty and Auction. Call 866-735-1977 and let Robert Gates help make your dreams come true.
Sold America.
Come see the all-new Bobcat CT1021 and CT1025 compact tractors. Now available at West End Sales in Vail. It's great for maneuvering around the barn, sheds, and landscaping. It's perfect for mowing. Features include 4-wheel drive and a 21 and 25 horsepower diesel engine with hydrostatic transmission. See it today at West End Sales, Highway 18 North in Vale. Online at westendSales.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
What's the best way to explain the golf at Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden? It's world-class golf for the working class. Yes, golf is never better than it is at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden, with special programs for seniors, men, ladies, and juniors, plus a driving range, banquet facilities, and a swimming pool, picnic area, and more. For your tee time or other questions, call 828-428-2451. The Glen Oaks Golf Course, 245 Golf Course Road in Maiden. It's world-class for the working class.
For the best selection in town, head to the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. They've got it. Right now, take 15% off all Christmas items in their Christmas shop. Check out their ammo section, including 9mm 223s, 12 gauge, BBs, and pellets, plus all kinds of name brand power tools for Dad. And right now, they have some used Bobcat mowers, and coming soon, Milwaukee tools and their brand new greenhouse. And don't forget about the big mulch yard at the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too. Tired of pests and bugs around your house? Do you see signs of termites, wet basement or crawl space, mold or mildew? Call the best. Call Neeline Cole, a local termite and pest control and moisture and water control business located in Bowling Springs. Voted the best for 12 years running. They have the skills and experience to help make your home more comfortable, to save you money on your energy bills, or to inspect a home you're buying for prior or present costly damage. Call Neeline Cole today at 704-434-9411 for a free estimate. Use the best. Neeline Cole, proudly serving the Carolinas.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano, and if you're looking for affordable, quality equipment, James River delivers.
Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, James River has the John Deere mowers, tractors, Gator utility vehicles, and implements you need to get it done fast. Plus, with low-rate financing and big cash rebates, James River makes owning a John Deere just as easy as it is to operate. Request a quote online at jamesriverequipment.com.
James River delivers affordable quality.
Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia has just gotten a whole lot bigger, and we mean a whole lot bigger. They have just purchased MS Power Sports in Gastonia and are now your dealer for Honda, Suzuki, and Kawasaki, along with CF Moto, Yamaha, and Polaris. Golf carts too, one big dealer under one big roof, plus a complete parts and service department. Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Lowell, online at ncfullthrottle.com, and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
Since 1919, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Lincoln County and surrounding area. And today they continue to serve this area and beyond with quality fuels and outstanding service. In addition to fuel oil, they also carry all kinds of lubricants, from hydraulic fluid to automatic transmission fluid to farm lubricants, plus diesel fuel, home heating oil, and kerosene. That's Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Call 704-735-2508 and online at nesbitoil.com.
Between them. Whew. So we're about ready to go here. South Point won the toss. They've elected to defer, so East Lincoln will get the ball first. And we're about ready to kick off.
Yeah, a little different stylistic matchup here tonight, especially offensively. We saw last week East Lincoln scored quick, fast, and in a hurry all night long. And South Point's a team that's going to want to grind the ball down, run the clock down, take some time off the clock. We'll see how this one plays out.
So kicking off will be Charles Birtwistle for South Point. The threesome of Clark, Mizell, Walker and looks like Shropshire are back for East Lincoln. South Point will kick off. They'll be kicking from our right to left. East Lincoln will be going high kick down the field. Walker fields it at about the 2-yard line. Goes up the middle, dances a little bit, and he's only going to get out to about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, good coverage there by the Red Raiders kickoff team. They shut that one down. Couldn't get back to the 20, so Mustangs backed up a little bit to start the ball game.
Nice high kick. Gave the coverage time to get down there, and Walker was a little indecisive bringing that back up too. He started in the middle, kind of danced a little, and that took away some momentum. So it'll be 1st and 10. As usual, Mizell will line up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers, 1 back in the backfield. That's Daly to the right of Mizell. 2 by 2 on either side, spreading out the defense as far as possible. Worked well last week. Mizell back, looks downfield, scrambles. And he's going to keep it. He gets around the right side. He's got some room. He gets out across the 25. It'll be a first down. It'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Mustangs on the first play of the game.
Yeah, it looks like a pickup of about 14 yards there on first down for Mizell. And a good start. Great blocking up front by the offensive line he had all day long before he decided to tuck and run.
Quick snap, handoff to Daly. And there's nothing much there. He went into the middle, then tried to bounce it out to the right. Not much there. In fact, he may lose a yard depending on the spot.
Yeah, the line of scrimmage in this ball game is going to be fascinating. Some big bodies up front for East Lincoln. Same can be said on the defensive line for South Point.
So 2nd and 9, or 2nd and 11 rather. They lost 1. Mizell takes a snap, rolls left. He's looking downfield, throws. He's got a receiver underneath that looks to be Clark. And Clark has wrestled out of bounds at about the 31-yard line, so a short gain on that play. It'll be 3rd and he's right at the marker, excuse me. So he gained a 1.
Gain a 1. Yeah, Mustangs stacked 3 receivers up there to the far side. They all ran routes to different levels. Mizell took the short route to Clark, but South Point all over it. And now a 3rd and long here early in the ball game.
3rd and 10, first possession of the game. 2 by 2 again with the wide receivers. Plenty of time on the play clock because the Mustangs do not huddle. They just stand at the line, look at Coach Matt Beam for the signal. Mizell back, throws. He's got a receiver. It's Walker. He makes the catch on the far sideline at the 40-yard line. That'll be another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, just South Point respecting Walker's speed out there on the outside. He ran his route, got to the first down marker, turned around, and Mizell put it on him for the first down.
So the ball at the 40-yard line. Mizell looks. He's got plenty of time. Good blocking. He takes off. He goes up the middle. He's got space. He's out to the outside. Scoots out of bounds just short of the first down. Looks to be about the 48-yard line.
Yeah, you said it, David. He had all day back there in the pocket. So far in this ball game, South Point just rushing 4. Looked like they had a linebacker spying Mizell there, but he didn't do his job because Mizell was able to get outside and almost pick up the first down.
I think both quarterbacks will have spies tonight. Blee for South Point is also a very good runner.
Yeah, you better have eyes on him at all times.
Daly switches sides, then back again. Handoff, Daly up the middle, across the 50. He's going to have a first down, gets to the South Point 45-yard line, and that'll be another Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
Yeah, that's the play that worked magnificently for the Mustangs last week, just that handoff up the middle to Daly, and nobody between him in the end zone, it seemed like all night long.
That's the thing you'll see with South Point. They are not going to be as tight to the line of scrimmage or as aggressive. They will have a second layer that can stop those 60 and 80-yard runs.
Yeah, 2 linebackers in the middle, keeping a safety deep, even with East Lincoln spreading out the formation.
Daly, no, Mizell keeps it, goes over the right side, gets to the 40-yard line before he's wrestled down. Tackle made by number 33, Chance Ford, one of their defensive standouts.
Yeah, I believe he leads the team in tackles. I think I saw 138.
138, but only 2 tackles for loss, which is interesting. It shows you this is kind of a bend and break thing. The numbers last week for South Point or Kings Mountain were ridiculous. How many tackles for loss?
Yeah.
2nd and 5. Mazzell back, throws. He's got Clark again to the sideline on an out pattern. And he'll get a flag on this because as they went out of bounds, the defender
took him all the way to the track.
Took him to the track. He did not let go, and eventually Cam Crawford tackled Clark in lane 1.
Yeah,
so
that'll draw the flag every time.
So that'll be a 15-yard personal foul penalty against South Point. It was already going to be a first down. So will take the ball down to the 19-yard line. So East Lincoln is now in the red zone.
Yeah, moving the ball here on this first drive. Already converted 1/3 and long. And now finding their rhythm.
And Ben Cutter has come in at running back. Normally he's mostly defense, but he will come in on offense sometimes. They'll give him the ball, and he's had some good runs this season.
Yeah, big physical back, a nice compliment to Daly.
Mazzell keeps it. He's got Cutter out in front as they go around the left side. Cutter's out there as the lead blocker. He'll do that as well, too. So he gets 4 yards on that one.
Heavy dose of Mazzell running the ball on this drive so far. Get this deep into the playoffs. It's time to put it all out there on the field.
I think it's the fact that after last week they're going to key on Daly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Cutter shifts back, handoff. It's Cutter, he goes up the middle, he's breaking tackles. He's down to the 5-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Mustangs, and we're only 3 minutes into this ball game. They have driven down the field in a methodical fashion, going fast. 1st and 5, 1st and goal. Hand off to Daly over the right side. He's got room. He's in. Touchdown, East Lincoln. First score of the ball game. Chris Daly on the 5-yard touchdown run. And that's a Gates auction touchdown for the Mustangs to make it 6-0. 3.5 minutes into the ball game.
Yeah, a little run off tackle there. Daly just had the one man to beat on the outside. He gave him a nice stiff arm, sent him to the ground, and walked into the end zone for the first touchdown.
So now on to kick the extra point. Looks to be Chris Milletta. He's been doing a good job the last 3 playoff games. Mazzell holds. Kick is up. And the What's Up Shopper PAT is good. So with 8:30 to go in the first quarter, East Lincoln 7, South Point 0. We'll be back after this 60-second timeout.
Since 1993, Jeff's Auto Sales has been serving this area with the finest in late model cars, trucks, SUVs, and more. Locally owned and operated too, with 2 locations to serve you. Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall, and on Highway 27 East in Lincoln. And financing is no problem. See how easy it is to get your next vehicle for as little as $500 down. You heard right, as little as $500 down. Jeff's Auto Sales. Check out their complete inventory at jeffsautosales.com. You may wonder what makes us different here at First Federal Savings Bank. We have been intertwined with this community for over 80 years. Here at First Federal Savings Bank, we take pride in Lincoln County, and that's why you see us donating time and resources to local charities and the schools in our community. Being a hometown bank is more than just a saying for us. It's about action and impact in the community in such a way that present and future generations are proud to call Lincoln County home. Stop in and see us here at First Federal Savings Bank today. Equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Chris Milletta, who just made the extra point, kicks off, and he kicks it into the end zone for a touchback. So the Redbone offense will start at their own 20-yard line. Actually better field position than East Lincoln had.
Yeah, just got a score update from our friend Steve Degree behind us. Reedsville up 7-0 on Burns early.
Not a surprise there. Reedsville just a state power for a long time. And on the very first play, a little motion in the backfield. Normally you see with a Redbone offense, but East Lincoln jumped offside. It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, it looked like Marcel Johnson on the far side of the line trying to get a little head start.
He doesn't usually need one.
No.
Marcel's come into the game. He's got, my goodness, 33 tackles for loss, 15 of them sacks. I mean, he gets in there and disrupts, and that's what he was trying to do.
Had 3 sacks last week in the ball game.
1st and 5. Patrick Blee is the quarterback. Hands off up the middle. That's going to number 7, Cam Medlock, the other of the two-headed monster for South Point, and that goes for no gain.
Yeah, East Lincoln all over that one.
They ran right at Johnson, and he was going to have nothing of that.
Nah. It's a promising start there for this Mustangs defense. It's going to be all about assignment football, trying to contain this South Point option.
2nd and 5, ball at the 25. 2 wide receivers to the side of the field. Medlock takes the handoff on the fullback dive. He gets out to the 30-yard line, and he's across it, so that'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Red Raiders, right at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, East Lincoln had met him at the line of scrimmage, but he just got lower than the defender, ran under the tackle attempt, and got enough for the first down there. First of the ball game for the Red Raiders.
1 wide receiver each side. They look over to the sideline. Plenty of time on the play clock. Handoff up the middle. It's Medlock again.
Actually, I think Blee kept it that time. Yeah, Blee, the quarterback, held on to it, and Marcel Johnson was there to stop him. Only a gain of 1 there on first down.
Good play there. One thing with this offense or with North Lincoln or West Lincoln is you don't always know where the ball is when you're the announcer.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a tough one on us up here for sure.
The players can see a little better. They're a lot closer than we are.
Yeah, they keep these formations tight, too.
Blee keeps it. He tries to go around the left side. Not much there. East Lincoln defensive line doing a really good job.
Yeah, no fake on that one. That was a quarterback run the whole way. A little sweep.
Terry Bryant with a tackle, and it's going to be 3rd and 7, so this is the thing East Lincoln wanted to do, was to get them in 3rd and long, make them have to work.
Yeah, don't be surprised if they still keep the ball on the ground here. If they can churn out about 5 and get it to 4th and short, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for it.
East Lincoln's got a lot of people up close, but they do have some safeties. Pitch, it's out to number 12.
There's a flag in the backfield. We'll see what it is. And
Elijah Pfeiffer. Elijah Pfeiffer was carrying the ball. He's fumbled.
Yeah,
recovery by East Lincoln. We'll have to wait and see. There was a flag that came in from the sideline.
Flag looked in the area of holding. It's in the backfield on the edge where the run was headed.
Blocking the back, it looks like. You got the push motion there. So.
Wow.
So they will decline the penalty, obviously, and take the football. No. There's. Okay, finally, it took a long time. They hadn't moved the chains. It was a fumble. They do have the ball at the Red Raider 35-yard line. 6:03 to go, halfway through the first quarter. East Lincoln in good shape to put another touchdown on the board. Mazzell keeps it again, follows his blockers over the right side, bulls his way forward, gets down close to another first down.
That's going to inspire the team right there when you see your quarterback running hard like that, finishing runs at the line to gain.
Tackle was made by William Kincaid, number 54, but he was 7 yards downfield before he engaged with Mazzell. Mazzell pushed him backwards for another Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
That's already the 6th of this first quarter for the Mustangs.
To 0 for South Point. Well, they got the 1.
1, yep.
Yep, Mazzell back, flushed out, looking. He keeps it. He's going to go down the sideline. A lot of opening. Steps out of bounds. Smart move there. I thought he was a little further than that when he stepped out of bounds, but he did get to the 13-yard line. They're in the red zone again. Another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, South Point right now, no answer for the quarterback run game. Mizell already 6 carries, 54 yards.
Like we said, a huge crowd here tonight. There's people parking in the school behind. There's people parking in the neighborhood across the road. There's people everywhere. Mazzell keeps it, fakes it to Daly, goes over the right side, gets hit hard.
It took a big shot.
About the 10-yard line. Jaquise Rumpf with a big hit there.
Yeah, Mizell coming into this game tonight, 49 total touchdowns, so just one away from 50 on the season, 35 passing, 14 rushing.
So Mazzell has carried the ball. He's got over 100 carries now on the season. But like you said, this is the most I've seen in the early part of a game. Hand off to Daly, up the middle, gets to about the 10-yard line. That'll be a short gain. Excuse me, Cutter. They're doing the two, both in the backfield. They wear 8 and 9, and with the orange numbers, it's tough to tell the difference. You get folds in there. Those uniforms are so tight. It's tough to tell.
Big 3rd and 7 coming up here for this South Point defense.
Daly and Cutter in the backfield. Handoff. No, Mazzell takes it. Goes over the left side, fake to Cutter. He's not going to be close to the first down, but it's going to be 4th and about 4 yards.
Yeah, it looks like he picked up about half of what he needed there. And you said it, 4th and medium here now inside the 10-yard line. Looks like they're going to keep the offense out there.
That's not surprising. I mean, they've got a good kicker with Milletta, but you can really make a statement here if they punch this in or at least get a first down and keep the drive going.
Yeah, South Point is not an offense built for big comebacks, so definitely get the decision here.
Mazzell takes it. He's looking, throws. He's got Cutter. Cutter drops the ball. So that'll be incomplete. South Point will get the ball back after East Lincoln turns it over on downs. He hit Cutter with a pass. I'm not sure he would have gotten the first down anyway. He was defended quite well on the play.
Yeah, the Red Raiders all over it. East Lincoln play action fake to Daly, trying to sneak Cutter out into the flat. Mizell put it on him, but like you said, well defended. Cornerback there to knock it away.
But with the size of Cutter, you never know. He could have broken a tackle too.
Oh, absolutely.
But we'll never know. So first down at the 7-yard line. South Point with it. Blee under center. Handoff up the middle. It's Medlock. He gets through the first line of defense.
Looks like Cutter there.
Looks like Cutter on the tackle. So a gain of about 6 or 7 on that play. They're calling it 6, so 2nd and 4. That was a big play by South Point. We'll see if that comes back to really help them. Blee keeps it, pitches. He's got a man outside. Looked to be number 14, Dawson Tobin. And it as the halfback, harkens back to my days watching football at Oklahoma in the late 70s with a wishbone offense.
Yeah, we're starting to see all the facets of this option now. They got it out there on the edge that time with the pitch. Had been just the fullback and the quarterback mostly to that point.
First down and 10 at the 24. Handoff, it's Medlock again. This time he breaks through. He's out into the open field. Breaks another tackle, is going down the sidelines, finally knocked out of bounds near midfield. They're going to spot him out at the 47, and that gets the South Point crowd going.
Yeah, he put a nasty stiff arm on Keandre Walker out there on the corner, right around the line to gain, and then picked up about 17 more yards.
So another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Red Raiders. They're out to their 47-yard line. Handoff up the middle again. The pile just moves forward into East Lincoln territory. They go from the 47 to the other 47, so a gain of 6.
Yeah, credit the offensive line there for pushing forward, but also Medlock putting his shoulder down and just driving those legs.
Running very hard. So this is more what South Point wants to do. They want to keep it 2nd and short, 3rd and short, keep the chains moving.
Yeah, right in there.
Break one every once in a while if they can. A handoff up the middle. This time Medlock slips and falls at the line of scrimmage. Might have gained 1 yard. It looked like a line of scrimmage, but the push is so good. He got a yard even when it looked like he slipped down. So 3rd down and 3. Ball at the 46-yard line of the Mustangs. Just over a minute to go in the first quarter. Amazing how fast the clock goes when South Point has it, but not when East Lincoln has it.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference in these offenses.
He keeps it, Blee keeps it, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. He faked the handoff to Medlock, but he didn't get rid of it.
Just read beautifully again there on the edge by Marcel Johnson. He was all over it. And we talked about 33 tackles for loss coming into this ball game. There's one right there on a big 3rd down.
Loss of 2 on that play, back to the 49, so it's 4th and 6, under a minute.
Yeah, Red Raiders keeping the offense out there.
I'm not sure what's laying on the field there at the 45-yard line, but South Point, now they'll look over the sideline. Play clock's down to 2-1, and they're going to call a timeout. So timeout, Red Raiders. We'll keep it here. It's 4th and 6. It'll only be a 30-second timeout. So another key 4th down already in this game. Just had one for East Lincoln down in the red zone. Didn't convert. We'll see what happens with South Point.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if they send the offense back out here again. They are just barely in East Lincoln territory, but it's 4th and a decent bit, 6 yards to gain. Might be asking a lot of the run game. They haven't gone to the air yet so far in this first quarter. Again, they only average about 5 or 6 pass attempts per game, so not something they do often.
It looks like they've decided they're going to punt this time, because it looks like Ramirez is on to punt. He has punted 20 times this year for an average of 36 yards with a long of 56. So 2 backs deep, Walker and Clark. Ramirez to punt. Snap, and there's the kick. Pretty nice kick, a spiral, but he's kicking away from the receivers. It goes out of bounds. So not too bad of a kick there.
No, I'd keep it away from those 2 guys back deep too. I'll take that every time if I'm the South Point coaching staff.
So the ball is spotted at, they're still going here. Spotted at the 19-yard line, so a 30-yard punt. No return. So a net of 30, so that's pretty good. And you've kept it away from the explosive returners for East Lincoln. 17 seconds to go in the first quarter. This will probably be the only play of the court before we switch ends. Mazzell with 2 backs in the backfield. Hands off to Daly, back to Beam. Little trickeration here. Mazzell throws downfield. He's got Clark. Oh, Clark, oh my goodness.
He had Clark, but Cutter took it from him.
Cutter cut in front. Clark had to slow, he was so far down the field, Clark had to slow up on that play. 7 seconds left. They might get another one off before the quarter. They've stopped the clock to move the chains. After the first down, clock is rolling. 4, 3, 2, 1, and they're not going to get that off in time. So that's the end of the first quarter here at East Lincoln. On the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it's East Lincoln 7, South Point 0. We'll be back after this 60-second timeout on the Lincoln County playoff game of the week.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles are available at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. They probably have the vehicle you've been looking for. And right now, make no payment for 60 days on the new or used vehicles. And now, take $500 off any new or used vehicle when you mention this radio ad. Yes, this radio ad is worth $500. Be sure to mention it when you arrive at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. Located at 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at ClassicVWGastonia.com. See their page at WhatsUpShopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
East Lincoln snap to start the second quarter. Handoff by Mazzell to Daly. He goes up the middle. Maybe a gain of 1 at best. So a 42-yard bit of trickeration there.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a double reverse, and then on the way back around, he tossed it back to Mazzell again, and he threw it deep. Had 2 receivers down there waiting for it.
Yeah, Clark was waiting. Cutter was bolting down the field. He made the catch. So Mazzell back, looks to throw. He's throwing down the sideline, but it's going to be too far out of bounds. He looked to have Walker. He's going for Walker down the far sideline, but he was well covered, and the pass drifted out of bounds.
Yeah, just trying to take a shot there on 2nd and 10, but that brings up 3rd and 10 now. South Point defense again trying to stand tall in their own territory.
So 3rd and 10. Mazzell again back to pass. East Lincoln throwing more than we've seen lately. Finally, Mazzell dances out of the pocket. He's carrying that ball like a loaf of bread, and he fumbles.
Yeah, Mustangs able to fall on top of it, though.
Very fortunate there. It looked like the old days of the wishbone. Thomas Lott and Dean Blevins out there carrying the ball like a loaf of bread.
Yeah,
those teams fumbled like crazy, too, but they always seem to fall on it for the most part.
Yeah, South Point's just rushing 4 defensively, so Mazzell's had time in the pocket, but the Red Raiders doing a good job on the back end covering everybody up.
They are, because he had a good 7-8 seconds back there before he really started to make a move.
That's the first time they've been able to contain him once he's tried to break the pocket, though.
So Cutter on to punt. 1 player back. Cutter angles it to the far side, bounces, and it's picked up at the 2-yard line. Probably not the best decision. It might have gone into the end zone. So South Point will not have great field position, but they did at least get it out past the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Red Raiders, it's the second time they've been backed up pretty deep starting a drive. Last one started on the 7, this one on the 13, 14.
Yeah, and the 20 was the other time, the touchback after the touchdown. So they have not had good field position, 20 or worse all night. This time at the 13, handoff up the middle. Medlock's got an opening. He breaks through. He's into the secondary. Finally gets wrestled down about the 35-yard line. But he got way into the secondary on that play.
Picks up 21 on that first down carry. That's already his second carry of 20-plus yards here early in this ball game. He's at 63 yards on 7 carries so far.
So another Turner Hauser Insurance first down for the Red Raiders.
Just like that, the field position's not so bad anymore.
1 wide receiver, everybody else in tight. Wide receivers Hamilton, handoff. And that time, the East Lincoln defensive line wins the battle there. Gain of 2 is all.
Yeah, not much doing for Medlock that time. 3 or 4 Mustangs there on the stop as soon as he crossed the line of scrimmage.
But again, pretty good line surge. It looked like he went just into the back of the line of scrimmage, but he gains at least 2.
Yeah, those fullback dives they run, it's going to be tough to stop those behind the line of scrimmage. If you get him start pitching the ball, maybe then you can get him for a loss.
Handoff up the middle. Again, not much there.
Yeah, 2-3 more yards in a cloud of dust.
I don't know if there's dust with all the rain we've had lately.
Maybe not.
Every golf course I've been on the last week and a half has been soggy. This field looks like it drains pretty well, though.
Yeah, the Red Raiders are again 3rd and 6 coming up. They had this situation on the last drive, got stopped in the backfield. Marcel Johnson made the play.
Taking a little bit of time here. Play clock at 15, so they do have time to get this off. And they've come out 4 wide, only 1 in the backfield. Very unusual. But they do hand it off. It's Medlock. Goes up the middle, and he's going to be short of the first down. They tried to do to East Lincoln what East Lincoln does to other teams, spread them out, but then run the ball. And that didn't work. He got to the 44-yard line. It's going to be 4th and a short 2.
Wow, I'm surprised to see them trotting the punt team out here.
They might be trying to see if they can draw them offside. They did last time. Aiden Ramirez into punt, number 60. Walker, the only one back, as East Lincoln's not buying the fact that they may actually punt.
Yeah, Mustangs will usually put 2 back there, but not this time on 4th and 1.
They've got 10 players within 5 yards.
They do kick it away.
He does. Walker lets it bounce, and then it bounced away from him. Looked like he was going to try and grab it on the bounce, then thought better of it. So the punt gets down to at the 21-yard line. 7:57 to go in the half. East Lincoln ahead 7-0 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, we talked about the South Point field position. This is the 3rd time the Mustangs have started inside their own 20.
First time it didn't hurt him.
No, they took it 85 yards.
Zell in the backfield, takes a snap. He's looking to throw again. He's got Jackson Beam out in the flat. Beam makes the first man semi-miss.
Yeah, I got a couple extra yards after he sidestepped him, but before he got slung out of bounds.
But he gets out to the 25-yard line, so that'll be a good gain on first down, 9 yards. It'll be 2nd and 1.
First catch of the night for Beam.
It's one I'm surprised they don't use a little bit more. He's really good at getting open in that slot. Hand off to Daly up the middle. He's got a hole. He's out over the 40-yard line. Nice hole, just like last week, but like we said, South Point will have defenders a little far off the line of scrimmage. Daly was a little slow getting up and then stumbles off to the sideline. So it's a first down at the 45-yard line, but there's a lot of concern on the East Lincoln sideline. They're looking at Daly. He's down on a knee.
It looks like Cutter is in there to replace him in the backfield for the time being.
Not a bad replacement.
No. A little different style of runner.
And they give it to Cutter. He goes around the right side. He's got an opening over the midfield, close to a first down at the Red Raider 45-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 46. He'll be about a yard short. Almost didn't look like they missed anything there.
No, yeah, Daly is back up to his feet over here on the sideline. Just got his helmet back.
I wonder if he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, he's got his helmet back on.
Yes,
so
he does.
Hopefully he'll be checking back in here soon.
Snap to Mizell. Hand off to Cutter again. He's close to a first down. He may or may, no, they're going to mark him short. I think he was a little closer to the 45 than what I'm seeing.
Looks like the far official marked it a little closer to that line to gain than the near side.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
They are going to give him the first down.
I thought he was close to the line when the play happened. And like you said, they went a little bit towards the far side. It was over the right side of the line. And this official on this side was a long way from it. The official on the other side probably had a better view.
Yeah, that's who they went with.
So another 1st and 10, this time at the plus 45. Daly back in the game now. Mizell back, throws, quick out. Is tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, still almost got out there to the intended receiver. I think that was Clark he was looking for.
Yeah, it looks like Clark bounced about 2 yards in front of him.
This is about where the Mustangs got to on their last drive before it stalled out. See if they can finish the job here and put some pressure on this South Point team. midway through this second quarter.
Fast-moving quarter, 5:43 to go in the first half. Barely 8 o'clock. Screen pass up the middle. Clark breaks a tackle, goes up the middle. Finally dragged down, but not before he gets to the 32-yard line. Nice setup there. They let the defense flood in. They hit Clark. There were defenders near him, but he made them miss and then got to the 32-yard line. So a gain of 13 and another Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
He's just so shifty out there once he's got the ball in his hands.
He's so quick. He's not that big either.
No, he's small, but he's
5'7", 145.
Hard to get your hands on him.
Mazzell looks, throws. He's got Walker over the middle. Walker makes a great play, snagging it out of the air. And he's hit as soon as he caught that. But another first down. Gain of 11, down to the 22.
Yeah, you see the difference there between Walker and Clark, why there's such good compliments. Clark, the speed guy, you get the ball outside, and then Walker runs that slant route over the middle. Big body, gets his hands up, catches it, gets the first down.
That's pretty good when you consider Walker to not be the speed guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That shows you how fast Clark is.
A lot of talent.
Mazzell keeps it, goes up the middle, almost breaks a tackle. He's chased down by William Kincaid. Kincaid had a hold of him, wasn't going to let him go. If he hadn't, it might have been a touchdown because there was a...
Oh, penalty flag came in. I didn't catch that one, but it's like the call is a hold on East Lincoln.
So that is the first accepted penalty of the game, I believe.
Mustangs had
the
jumped
offside. The
earlier.
offside. Well, okay, only second, and we're only 4:20 from the end of the half, so it's been a very well-played, disciplined half.
Yeah, exactly what you want to see in a game. State semifinal here.
2-by-2, Daly in the backfield. Mazzell looks, he's got time, throws, and the receiver broke it off, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Markel Clark was actually on the ground over there on the far side of the field. Maybe some contact with his defender, went uncalled.
The problem was, I think the pass was nowhere near him.
Yeah, no, it definitely was not.
There was good 15 yards between where Clark was laying on the field and where the pass ended up. So it's going to be second down and 20, or 18 rather. They marked off the holding call from the spot of the foul. Second and 18, 30-yard line. 4 minutes to go in the half, 7-0 East Lincoln. Mazzell throws. That was a dangerous throw. They were trying to get Walker out there on the side, and that was nearly jumped by John Vickers coming up to make the play.
Yeah, that was the same little bubble screen they just threw to Markel Clark a few plays ago. They tried to hit it to Walker this time and unable to connect. Brings up 3rd and 18 now. Wonder if they try and get a chunk of it here, maybe set up a field goal attempt or go for the big play.
Or with East Lincoln, they may just try and fire it the whole way. They're not afraid to do that.
Looks like they're going to line up.
10 on the play clock. They got 3 wide receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Mazzell alone in the backfield, so chances are he's going to throw. Good blocking by the East Lincoln line. He's got time, throws downfield. Incomplete, but then blasted out of bounds.
Yeah, that was Walker along the sideline over there on the far side.
He was drilled a good 2-3 yards out of bounds after not catching that.
Yeah, the ball had already hit the ground by the time he got hit.
Surprising that there wasn't a call on that one, because he was clearly out of bounds. The chain crew had backed way up out of the way.
Yep.
It would have been a first down if he had made the catch.
Yeah, he was just past the sticks over there.
So it was a good pattern there, just couldn't quite make the catch.
They're gonna try a long field goal here now.
Chris Milletta on.
It's about a 47-yarder. They're rushing to get it off, too.
Their play clock's down to 2. They're going to take a timeout here to see what they want to, whether they really want to kick this or not. Milletta's got the leg.
I mean, this would be...
One thing about this end of Lincoln County, there's some kickers over here.
Yeah,
You got Milletta for them. Earlier this year, it was Helmut Rojas who's doing some good kicking. And then over at North Lincoln, you had Liam Sutton who could pound it into the end zone. When North and East played here, it was just touchback city.
Yeah.
Almost every kickoff was in the end zone.
No returns.
And they were just killing extra points.
If he can hit this, I'd say it'd have to be the longest field goal I've seen this season at the high school level.
Oh, definitely.
Did just get a score update. Reidsville now leading Burns 14-0 over there in the 2A West final.
Someone said earlier that Reidsville is 96-4 the last few years in their last 100 games. They don't lose often.
No.
So here it is. Milletta is going to try a 47-yard field goal. Snap, hold, kick is up. It's long enough, but it's no good. It's wide to the left. He had enough on that.
Yeah, just pushed it a little bit. And that'll give South Point their best field position all night long. We talked about just a few moments ago.
Not a bad decision there by East Lincoln to go for that. Milletta had plenty behind that.
Yeah, he had the leg for it.
But the score remains on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, 7-0. That first possession touchdown by East Lincoln is standing up so far.
Yeah, we'll see how long that'll last. South Point unable to get untracked offensively so far.
This will go to the 20-yard line because the kick did get into the end zone.
Okay.
So it will not go. It's not like college or pros where they spot it.
At the spot of the kick.
Is it spot of the kick or is it from where it's snapped?
Line of scrimmage. I think
line
it's
of scrimmage. Either way, it's gonna. That's another 10 yards that they'll be pushed back.
That's a good catch there. I definitely didn't know that.
Well, I didn't either until I saw him going over here. It's like, oh yeah, it did make the end zone. He had, like I said, he had plenty on it because it was long enough. It was just wide to the left. So we're down to 3:40 to go in the first half. 7-0 East Lincoln. They took their second time out of the half. They're down to 1. South Point still has 2, and they have possession.
Yeah, this is about the perfect amount of time left on the clock for this South Point offense and what they like to do. They can run a nice little 4-minute drive here and try and tie this ball game up headed into the locker room if they can
They
get
better
something
run
going.
a 3-minute, 40-second drive.
They might have to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, there you go. Even though they haven't tried one that I could tell this year. Again.
Yeah, spreading it out.
Spreading it out. 4 wide receivers. One comes back. Pitch out to the one that was coming in motion. He gets out across the 30-yard line. It is Elijah Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer came in motion from the far side to this side. Takes a pitch from Blee, who we have not seen carry the ball very much.
No, just 3 carries so far, only 1 yard gained.
I was quite surprised. It was like he's got 1,400 yards this season, but
yeah, it's been almost all Medlock so far. A little bit of Pfeiffer mixed in like you just saw.
Now, no wide receivers this time. Everybody in tight. Player in motion. It's going to be a lead blocker. Pitches out to number 5, Will Ross. He goes around the left side, and he's going to get enough for another Turner Hauser Insurance first down.
Yeah, first time we've really seen South Point be able to get the edge out there on the outside. Picked up 13 yards. Back-to-back first downs now.
So 2 runs for 24 yards total. And they've only used 50 seconds to do it. So time-wise, they're in good shape. Blee falls down in the backfield. He was trying to hand it off to Medlock, or doing the mesh at least.
Yeah, he saw Cutter there waiting for him, and it looked like he just kind of fell down. He just conceded that one. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm sorry. If Cutter's coming to me, I might fall down too and not get hit.
Do the exact same thing.
Cutter, the West Virginia commit. Several players on East Lincoln that are going to play at the next level.
There's a tackle on the South Point side that's headed to Notre Dame. So some good athletes on the field here tonight.
Blee keeps it this time. Gets hit in the backfield, escapes. Moves the ball forward, gets to about the 47. So a short gain was disrupted in the backfield. That was Marcel Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson made the hit initially, and then I think it was Parker Davis that came in to clean it up from his safety spot.
And East Lincoln has taken their last time out of the half.
Yeah, they've got South Point in a tough spot here, 3rd and 7. just shy of midfield at the 47.
Curious to see what formation they come out in. We've seen the spread offense, but then they kind of ran the ball back to the interior, pretty much doing that. They've tried plays up the middle. They've tried the halfback pitch.
22 minutes played of game time so far. Still no pass attempts yet for the Red Raiders.
Not surprising, but they do.
They're going to mix one in eventually.
They will.
It's going to happen.
They kind of lull you to sleep, and then all of a sudden fire one.
Yep.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah, their tight end, the other Blee, Jackson Blee, the senior, he's been kind of their threat in the passing game, their biggest threat.
Yeah, he does lead them in receiving. 13 catches for 343 yards, so he's averaging 26 per catch.
Yeah, that'll get it done.
So third down, crowd rising, pitch to Ross. He goes around, and there is nothing there. Good pursuit by East Lincoln. Marcel Johnson, Blake Bradford, and others. Good assignment football. They get out, make the tackle, and make it a gain of maybe one, if that, and it'll be fourth down.
Yeah, nothing doing that time. That's the same play they ran to start the drive that got a big chunk. 13 yards, I believe, on the pitch. This time, East Lincoln all over it.
One thing I've noticed with East Lincoln this year, they do adjust well.
Yep.
The game against North Lincoln, North came out, ran it down the field on them. Then North did almost nothing
Rest of the game.
except between the 30s maybe, the rest of the game, because they had adjusted to it.
It's good coaching.
It is. Plus, you've got a defense for East Lincoln where you had every returning starter at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Lubowitz in the preseason a few months ago now, and he was very excited about that on the defensive side of the ball.
And it's shown up. I mean, they've given up 87 points in 14 games. That's just astounding. Less than 7 a game.
Unreal, and they've stifled South Point to this point in the ball game. Maybe just over 100 yards in the first half. They had about 80 coming into this drive.
And they've got another 28 at this point. So, yeah, probably just over 100. We'll have our totals. They're unofficial, but they're usually pretty close.
They're pretty close.
Yes.
Within a few yards.
We don't have the luxury of sitting there with a videotape like the coaches and going, okay, it went from this yard line to this yard line.
Game's moving fast sometimes, especially when East Lincoln's got the ball at least.
Well, the clock runs fast when South Point has it.
Yeah, exactly. South Point does have the punt team out on 4th and 6, just shy of midfield.
So Ramirez will punt. Clark and Walker back for East Lincoln. 1:15 to go. Snap, high snap, and the play is going to be blown dead. Illegal procedure on South Point.
They're probably fortunate because the Mustangs are back there in the backfield. Looked like the punter had realized he wasn't going to get the kickoff and was about to try and tuck and run. So East Lincoln could have had the ball in plus territory there if not for that pre-snap penalty.
One thing to watch out for with East Lincoln, especially if you get number 4 on this near edge, Jalen Roseborough. He tipped a ball against a couple games ago. I'm losing track.
He's a speed demon, a track star for the Mustangs in the spring.
Yes, he is. So 1:15 to go. They'll try it again. Now it's 4th and 11. Walker's now up closer, but Clark is the deep back. Kick is up. Clark catches it at the 20-yard line, and that'll be it. No attempt at a return. No blocking in front of him. Not the worst decision.
Yeah, let that high-powered offense get back out there and try to put together one more drive here before halftime.
68 seconds to go. It'll be 1st and 10. Other than the one turnover, both teams have not had good field position.
No, not at all.
And then East Lincoln did nothing with that field position. Well, they went a little bit, but then they stalled.
Yep.
They actually did better from their own 15 than they did from the plus side of the 50. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Daly in the backfield. Mazzell back, looks, throws. He's got Walker on the far sideline. Catch is made, fumbled, and it's fallen on by an East Lincoln player. They had the first down, but they will lose that after the fumble.
I think it was, no, it wasn't Beam. It was over on the far side.
No, Beam's.
Yeah,
I'm not. It had to be a lineman that fell on it because they were the only ones over there. Everybody else is on this side.
Looked like the right
Snap.
tackle.
They throw back across. They got. Oh goodness! Had Walker right in the mitts, and he dropped it. I'm not sure if they got a hand in there to deflect that or not, but they had Walker on a slant over the middle, past the 50, and he might still be going otherwise.
Yeah, that's the chunk play that they were looking for here to try and get this drive started too. Instead, it'll bring up 3rd and 2.
So they've got Clark, Beam, and Shropshire to this side, Walker to the other. And there's going to be an offside there. Walker was slow to get back to the line of scrimmage, and then he was over the line of scrimmage, never did get set. So it'll be 5 yards against the Mustangs.
Yeah, 3rd and short becomes 3rd and a little more difficult.
Yeah, not the best move by Walker. Yeah, you dropped the pass, you could have had it, but get back before the next play.
Yeah. Just compounding mistakes right there.
So 3rd down and 7 at their 24, 36 seconds left.
Walker's liable to go out there and make a play to make up for it, though. So we'll see if they target him here again on 3rd down.
He's getting single coverage on that side. You've got 4 defenders over here against the 3. 38. So 38 seconds. They've changed the clock back because of the penalty. But yeah, they've got Walker over there basically in single coverage with a safety way back. And he throws down the sidelines going for Clark. Pass is incomplete.
South Point defensive backs are making these receivers pay even on the incomplete passes. I think that was that Daly that time they were looking for?
It might have been Daly out of the backfield. I thought it might have been Clark.
They were both over there in that area.
You had Walker and you had Daly out of the backfield because you've had Shropshire, Clark, and Beam all on this near the wide side of the field. The ball's been on the right hash mark for them.
There's a flag on the play in the secondary. It's at about the 40-yard line.
There was a collision back here at about the 40.
Yeah,
they held up a receiver. I saw that, but then the pass went the other way.
They called defensive holding, and that'll be 10 yards and give the Mustangs a 1st down. So looking at a 3 and out, but they pick up the 1st down via penalty.
So 1st down at the 34. And South Point moving their safeties back even further. They've got them on the other side of the 50. So there's good 17 yards downfield. Mazzell looks. He's got plenty of time. He throws. The ball is dropped by Walker again.
Yeah, tough drive here for Keandre Walker. He's been targeted 3 times, I believe. Had the 1 catch, but fumbled it, and then a couple of drops.
And the penalty.
And the penalty.
And that's not something we've seen from him this year.
No, definitely not. Certainly unusual.
He's also being covered a little more closely than he has been in any of the 8 games I've seen of them this year.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with South Point on the back end so far. They haven't been hit for maybe just 1 big pass play so far.
Daly takes it, goes up the middle. He's got an opening. He's going to be close to the 1st down. He's finally wrestled down. It'll be just short. They have no timeouts, so they'll have to go.
That was a heck of a tackle there at the end of that
Okay,
play.
they're stopping the clock. They did say he got the 1st down. 15 seconds left. And now the clock rolls. They need to go. 12, 11, and now they're going to call a legal procedure on the Mustangs.
Mizell looks a little frustrated with the officials there.
So do the linemen.
Yeah, the one official was holding up play. And maybe that's why the lineman thought he was still good to move around up there. 2nd penalty on the drive here for the Mustangs.
So now the clock is going 6, 5. They need to go. No, they're not going to get a play off. Yeah, they do, barely. Smith back. scrambles around, and he's sacked in the backfield, and that'll end the first half.
Yeah, brought down
Some
hard
confusion there by East Lincoln, and part of it was the officials not getting the ball in play. They said there was a first down, and then he stopped the clock, and then it wasn't smooth between either East Lincoln or the officials getting things set up. So that's it for the first half. On the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it's East Lincoln 7, South Point 0. We'll be back after this 4-minute timeout with a stadium halftime show. You're listening to the Lincoln County Playoff Game of the Week.
Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia has just gotten a whole lot bigger, and we mean a whole lot bigger. They have just purchased MS Power Sports in Gastonia and are now your dealer for Honda, Suzuki, and Kawasaki, along with CF Moto, Yamaha, and Polaris. Golf carts too, one big dealer under one big roof, plus a complete parts and service department. Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Lowell, online at ncfullthrottle.com, and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. What's the best way to explain the golf at Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden? It's world-class golf for the working class. Yes, golf is never better than it is at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden, with special programs for seniors, men, ladies, and juniors, plus a driving range, banquet facilities, and a swimming pool, picnic area, and more. For your tee time or other questions, call 828-428-2451. The Glen Oaks Golf Course, 245 Golf Course Road in Maiden. It's world class for the working class.
Tired of pests and bugs around your house? Do you see signs of termites, wet basement or crawl space, mold or mildew? Call the best. Call Neeline Cole, a local termite and pest control and moisture and water control business located in Bowling Springs. Voted the best for 12 years running. They have the skills and experience to help make your home more comfortable, to save you money on your energy bills, or to inspect a home you're buying for prior or present costly damage. Call Neeline Cole today at 704-434-9411 for a free estimate. Use the best. Neeline Cole, proudly serving the Carolinas.
Looking for your dream home? Look to Gates Realty and Auction in Lincoln. Robert Gates can help make your dreams come true. Robert has over 30 years combined real estate and auction experience and is licensed in North Carolina. Visit their website at gatesauction.com and check out the latest listings available. We're sure there's one for you and your family. Gates Realty and Auction. Call 866-735-1977 and let Robert Gates help make your dreams come true.
Sold America.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that matter to their employees, customers, and neighbors. Over the years, United Bank has grown in size, but their community focus has not changed. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. United Bank, member FDIC. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles are available at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. They probably have the vehicle you've been looking for. And right now, make no payment for 60 days on the new or used vehicles. And now, take $500 off any new or used vehicle when you mention this radio ad. Yes, this radio ad is worth $500. Be sure to mention it when you arrive at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. Located at 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at ClassicVWGastonia.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. For the best selection in town, head to the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. They've got it. Right now, take 15% off all Christmas items in their Christmas shop. Check out their ammo section, including 9mm 223s, 12 gauge, BBs, and pellets, plus all kinds of name brand power tools for Dad. And right now, they have some used Bobcat mowers, and coming soon, Milwaukee tools and their brand new greenhouse. And don't forget about the big mulch yard at the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too.
Back here at East Lincoln, on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, it's Mustangs with a 7-0 lead over South Point as they went in and scored on their first possession. And then the two teams have pretty much battled between the 20-yard lines and maybe midfield. They really haven't gotten very far after that initial drive. The stadium halftime show brought to you by Unrivaled Metal Buildings of Lincolnton. And we'll have Matt here take a look at the stats that we have so far for the first half.
Yeah, for the Mustangs in the first half, a lot of Tyler Mizell throwing the ball and running the ball. Carried it 9 times in that first half, including that sack right there on the very last play. 9 carries for 51 yards so far for Mizell. He's thrown the ball 14 times, completed 8 of those passes for 101 yards so far. Ben Cutter obviously caught the one big play, the 42-yarder down the field that he took from the hands of Markel Clark. Keandre Walker, 3 catches, 29 yards, and saw a couple more that could have been catches there late on that last drive. And then Markel Clark also 3 catches, 22 yards, and then Beam with a catch for 8 yards as well. Chris Daly, just 6 carries for him so far, 6 carries for 40 yards, did have the touchdown run to cap that first drive. And then Cutter's run the ball 4 times for 20 yards. Mustangs picked up 14 first downs in that first half, 4 penalties for 25 yards, and then a couple of them coming on that last drive that kind of killed that one when it looked like it might have had a little promise. On the South Point side, no pass attempts at all in that first half, just exclusively,
as advertised.
Yeah, exclusively keeping it on the ground. Medlock has been the featured ball carrier. He's gone 9 times for 67 yards. He's hit a couple big ones, had a 24-yard run and a 21-yard run to eat up the bulk of that yardage. Patrick Blee, the quarterback, only 5 carries for 4 yards so far. Unable to get him going. East Lincoln's been keyed in on him so far.
I was expecting a little more from him.
Yeah.
And we still may see it. It's only been a half, but he came in with 1,400 yards.
Yeah, those Mustangs on the defensive line have been doing a good job bottling him up, especially on the edges. Marcel Johnson's got him a couple of times trying to get to the outside. They have had a couple other runners get the ball. Pfeiffer's run it 3 times for 17 yards. Tobin came in, got 1 pitch, took it 11 yards. And then Ross got a couple carries on that last drive for 14 yards. The Red Raiders got the ball 4 times in the first half. They fumbled on their first drive, the only turnover of the half, and then 3 punts followed that. The Red Raiders have been getting it right around midfield. You know, they pick up a first down or 2, and they get to about midfield, and they've stalled just about every time so far.
Yeah, they've not had good field position at any point. I think the best they had was the 20-yard line, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've started at the 20 twice. The other 2 drives started at the 7 and the 13, so not a lot of room to work with for them.
So they may get some yardage, but then it's an awful long field, and East Lincoln's defense is so good. Eventually, they're going to get it figured out.
Yeah, eventually the Mustangs have been able to get them into a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and that's not where the Red Raiders like to be offensively, and they've struggled so far to convert those.
But again, you would have thought at some point, and again, we may see it, Blee get a throw off.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be shocked if he doesn't try at least one at some point in this ball game. Heck, it might be the first play of the second half. We'll see.
You never know. And also, Keandre Walker, went off the field frustrated.
Oh, yeah, he's
2 drops, a penalty, a fumble. That was all in that last possession.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that is him. You know, he usually gets into the game on the defensive side, but he hasn't had anybody to cover out there tonight because they're not throwing the ball. I wonder if they're kind of icing him out there.
Icing the catcher instead of icing the shooter. I think that's more basketball, but that's an apt analogy there. It may be the same sort of thing. So halftime's going on here. The kickers for each team are putting on a bit of a display. Now,
both
why South Point has not attempted a field goal this year, because Burt Whistle just nailed one from
It's like they're both kicking them from about
47. Yeah, they're both working on the long kicks. You may need that at some point. It's only 7-0, so.
Mustangs have already tried it in this game. They attempted a 47-yarder in that first half. It had the distance, but got pushed to the left and missed. They've had a couple.
Man, he is clear.
That one might have been good from 57.
He's putting it over. There's a long jump runway behind the end zone, and he's flying that.
Yeah, he's backing up 5 more yards.
Why has he not tried one all year? They've got him. Now, maybe they just didn't put in the. I'm going by max preps.
Right. Yeah,
but they have him as 0 for 0.
Yeah, the East Lincoln kicker just hit one from 47 on the other side. Obviously kicking off the tee here in between halves. But the Mustangs, aside from that first touchdown drive, they've been in the South Point territory a couple times. We just talked about the missed field goal, but also got down there inside the 20 again and had that turnover on downs. So been able to eat up some yardage. Just going to have to start finishing off these drives.
Well, that's it for the Stadium Halftime Show, brought to you by Unrivaled Metal Buildings of Lincolnton. We'll be back, and it'll be close to the second half kickoff after this 4-minute timeout. You're listening to the Lincoln County Playoff Game of the Week.
It's time to start planning for cold winter weather with one call to Rye Heating and Air in Lincoln. They are locally owned and operated with a team of friendly, skilled, and experienced professionals. Get a free estimate on replacement or new installation. Take up to $1,750 off select Carrier equipment. And ask about their one-time heating maintenance special for just $75. Call 980-389-0008 for Rye Heating and Air. Online at ryeheatingandair.com. Like them on Facebook too.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano, and if you're looking for affordable quality equipment, James River delivers.
Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, James River has the John Deere mowers, tractors, Gator utility vehicles, and implements you need to get it done fast. Plus, with low-rate financing and big cash rebates, James River makes owning a John Deere just as easy as it is to operate. Request a quote online at jamesriverequipment.com.
James River delivers affordable quality.
It's time to go to work at Triad Corrugated Metals in Lincoln. They're now hiring for manufacturing jobs, and they'll train. Just drop by their location at 108 Industrial Park in Lincoln. And with Triad Corrugated Metal Roofing, you buy direct, thus saving you money. See one of the largest selections of colors in North Carolina. That's Triad Corrugated Metal Roofing, 108 Industrial Park in Lincoln. For more information, call 980-429-2278.
Since 1919, Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Lincoln County and surrounding area. And today they continue to serve this area and beyond with quality fuels and outstanding service. In addition to fuel oil, they also carry all kinds of lubricants, from hydraulic fluid to automatic transmission fluid to farm lubricants, plus diesel fuel, home heating oil, and kerosene. That's Rhodes and Bill Oil Company, 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Call 704-735-2508 and online at nesbitoil.com. Since 1993, Jeff's Auto Sales has been serving this area with the finest in late model cars, trucks, SUVs, and more. Locally owned and operated too, with 2 locations to serve you. Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall, and on Highway 27 East in Lincoln. And financing is no problem. See how easy it is to get your next vehicle for as little as $500 down. You heard right, as little as $500 down. Jeff's Auto Sales. Check out their complete inventory at jeffsautosales.com. Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com. Come see the all-new Bobcat CT1021 and CT1025 compact tractors, now available at West End Sales in Vail. It's great for maneuvering around the barn, sheds, and landscaping. It's perfect for mowing. Features four-wheel drive and a 21 and 25 horsepower diesel engine with hydrostatic transmission. See it today at West End Sales, Highway 18 North in Vail. Online at westendsales.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. You may wonder what makes us different here at First Federal Savings Bank. We have been intertwined with this community for over 80 years. Here at First Federal Savings Bank, we take pride in Lincoln County, and that's why you see us donating time and resources to local charities and the schools in our community. Being a hometown bank is more than just a saying for us. It's about action and impact in the community in such a way that present and future generations are proud to call Lincoln County home. Stop in and see us here at First Federal Savings Bank today. Equal housing lender and member FDIC.
The two kickers, Burt Whistle and Milletta, for the respective teams, South Point and East Lincoln, were out here practicing kicks. And with the score only 7-0, tight ball game, this might be something to file away for future reference.
Yeah, they were both kicking some deep ones, obviously off the tee without a rush coming at him, but my letter for East Lincoln hit from about 47, 48, and then Burt Whistle over here for South Point is hitting from about 53. Tried to back up to about 57 and just kind of lost his accuracy on it. But
yeah, when he went back to 57, you could see him pressing, and he was trying to kick it too hard, and usually they'll hook it when that happens.
But definitely good legs on both of these kickers.
And on Max Preps, they've got him for 68 of 75 on PATs, but they got him for 0 for 0 on field goals. So,
I mean, you'd think if they were going to track his extra points, they'd track his field goals.
Yeah,
too,
so maybe they haven't tried, or they haven't needed to try a field goal all year. Maybe the situation wasn't right, but
close ball game, like you said tonight, you never know.
It could come down to the kickers at the end, so watching them at halftime may be instructive to what we see later.
Yeah,
so both teams have gone through their warm-ups, heading back to their respective sidelines, and South Point will get the ball to start the half as they deferred at the beginning of the game. That deferment came back at them when East Lincoln took the first opening possession and went 85 yards in about 3.5 minutes for a touchdown. But since then, it's been pretty much between the 20s.
Yeah, a lot of punts.
A lot of punts,
turnovers. Mustangs had an opportunity to really put it on them early because, as you mentioned, they went down and scored on that opening drive, and then South Point fumbled on its first possession. Set East Lincoln up at the 35 of South Point for their second drive. And
they got all the way to the 7, too.
Yeah, went for it on 4th down, unable to convert.
Pass to Cutter was incomplete. Not sure if it had been enough for him to get in the end zone, but the size and speed of Cutter, he might have been able to break a tackle, too. So
yeah, just carry him.
Carry him in, and it wouldn't surprise me. Just throw him over his shoulder and said, here, you're coming with me. I'll lead you to safety. So Milletta, who should be sufficiently warm at this point, will kick off for East Lincoln. Back to receive will be Will Ross deep, and then a couple players up close. Dawson Tobin's one. So there's Milletta's kick, and that's going to fly into the end zone. No surprise there.
I believe his second touchback tonight. 2 kickoffs, 2 touchbacks for Milletta.
Milletta does the Usain Bolt arrow. Well, that was shot like an arrow. That went down there quite a ways.
Yeah, so he smoked that one.
So it'll be 1st and 10. South Point, first possession of the second half at their own 20-yard line, same as they've been doing all game.
Yep.
Their best field position so far. Handoff up the middle, Medlock, and he's met in the backfield and dropped this time. Marcel Johnson along with
number 7, Cam Medlock, is tackled in the backfield by number 8,
And Diego Niera was the other player.
Niera, another guy who had a huge game last week, 3 sacks, just like Marcel Johnson in that one at Kings Mountain.
They say he got back to the line of scrimmage. I'm not so sure about that, but it is 2nd and 10. One thing we've noticed in the playoffs, there's been some interesting spots from officials.
Yeah. 4 receivers here for South Point.
Well, that's just to spread things out. Blee keeps it, fakes the handoff up the middle, but East slams through, and this one will be a tackle for loss.
Yep. Yeah, there's just been no room for Blee whenever he's tried to pull it out of Medlock's belly. He's just been hit in the backfield 2 or 3 times now.
Terry Bryant, the first one in there for the Mustangs. So to be 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 to be exact. Again, this is not what you want. If you're for South Point, you don't want to get into 3rd and behind the chains, let alone 3rd and long.
Nope. Red Raiders still haven't attempted a pass. Here's one.
Oh, here we go. Blee rolls out, throws. He's got a receiver, but he's short of the first down. Tackles made. Looked to be by Hampton Good, possibly. Or was it Walker?
I think it was Walker out there on the edge.
They went at Walker, so to be 4th down and 3 after the play. First pass of the ball game for South Point.
Yeah, it was complete. Just not enough to get the first down. Needed 12, got about 9. Walker there allowed the catch to happen, but stopped the receiver from getting anything after it.
Ramirez on to punt again. Kick, low driving kick, fielded by Clark, fumbles it, picks it up, fumbles it again. Who's got the ball?
There's no signal yet from the officials. Looked like Clark was able to fall back.
I think Clark fell back on it again, so it'll be 1st down.
A little scary there.
For the Mustangs. They may want to get the Stickum out. Like Bolitnikoff and all those guys back in the day. Yes, I am showing my age. I'm getting a nod back here from Coach Degree. He's like, yep, I know those guys. I think he had a yellow uniform by the end of the game. So 1st and 10 at the 41. Mizell in the shotgun throws. He's got Beam out in the flat. He gets to the 45-yard line, gain of 9 on the play. Again, Jackson Beam catches the out pattern in the flat.
Yeah, they hit that one in the first half for the exact same gain, 9 yards.
So 2nd and 1. And that's one thing we talked about off air, was surprising they don't look for Beam a little more often, because you've got such speed there. He's going to find an opening.
There's so much talent on this offense. It's almost hard to get everybody involved.
Daly with a carry, goes through the left side. He'll have enough for the first down, but just barely. He gets to the 47-yard line. It'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance 1st down.
15th of the night for the Mustangs. Really haven't seen a whole lot of Daly after he stole the show last week. That was just his 7th carry of the ball game.
I think everybody on South Point probably has the number 8 tattooed on their arm, so they don't forget, watch for Chris Daly.
Yeah, we've seen Mizell pull it a few times.
So again, East Lincoln does not huddle. They just go up to the line, look over the sideline. Snap to Mizell, hand off to Daly around the right side, cuts it up, but only gets about a yard. Nice tackle out there, trying to get a number. And it looks to be Jackie's Rumpf with a tackle, followed Daly out there and made a good open field tackle. Maybe a yard.
Done a good job bottling Daly up for the most part so far. 1 20-yard run. Everything else, single digits.
3 wide receivers, Cutter and Daly in the backfield. Mizell keeps it after faking to Cutter. He gets across the 50-yard line to the 49. Gain of about 5 on the play. And I think a player for South Point's been watching a little too much of the World Cup. I didn't see anybody around him. All of a sudden, he's laying down on his back.
Tripping.
I was like, We've seen too much of that over in Qatar at the World Cup, where people fall down and look like they've been shot and they've been barely touched. So 3rd and 6, they'll call it. Mazzell back to pass, looks, throws out in the flat. He's got Beam again. He'll get it at about the 44-yard line. But like that will be just short of the first down. They gave him forward progress.
It's close, but about a yard short, maybe half a yard.
It's not going to be much.
I'd go for it if I was the Mustangs.
So they bring Cutter into the ball game along with Daly. They've got the big boy package, they call it, in there.
Yeah, time to get physical.
Shropshire comes out, Cutter comes in. Play clock is down to 10 already.
Yeah, still looking to the sideline. You're going to have to burn a timeout.
And that's what they're going to do. Play clock goes down to 2. They call a timeout. So with 6:41 to go in the 3rd quarter, we'll take a quick timeout here, 60 seconds. We'll be back on the Lincoln County Playoff Game of the Week.
Looking for your dream home? Look to Gates Realty and Auction in Lincoln. Robert Gates can help make your dreams come true. Robert has over 30 years combined real estate and auction experience and is licensed in North Carolina. Visit their website at gatesauction.com and check out the latest listings available. We're sure there's one for you and your family. Gates Realty and Auction. Call 866-735-1977 and let Robert Gates help make your dreams come true.
Sold America.
Come see the all-new Bobcat CT1021 and CT1025 compact tractors. Now available at West End Sales in Vail. It's great for maneuvering around the barn, sheds, and landscaping. It's perfect for mowing. Features include 4-wheel drive and a 21 and 25 horsepower diesel engine with hydrostatic transmission. See it today at West End Sales, Highway 18 North in Vail. Online at westendSales.com. See their page at WhatsAppShopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Wow.
And the fake, we were talking while we were off the air, why do you take a timeout and then go ahead for a punt? But then everybody was thinking there may be a fake, and there was. Cutter kept the ball, went over the right side, and maybe a really favorable spot.
Yeah, he looked like he was tackled a few
I
yards
thought he was
short
tackled
from
about
what I
the
could
43.
tell. Yeah, now the offense has come back off, so it looks like it will be South Point with
That
the football.
that would have been about enough for the first down, wouldn't it? Where the ball is?
Pretty close. I thought he was a couple yards behind the line to gain.
Now they're walking off a penalty against South Point.
Probably after the play. Maybe.
Is it? That's what we're going to have to. Yeah, dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against South Point. So they will still have their best field position, but minus 15 yards from what it would have been.
Yeah, they would have had it just shy of midfield.
They would have been at the 45. Now they're back just past the 30-yard line. Again, their best field position of the night, but it could have been so much better. 6:33 to go. South Point now with the ball. After the fake punt failed for East Lincoln, Blee throws. He's got a receiver, and he drops it. Oh, my goodness. He had Aaron Cheney wide open in the middle of the field, and he drops the ball on the Mustang logo.
Wow. That's exactly what they try to get when they dial up the pass play. They had it perfect.
And they had it. He hit the receiver in stride, and he just flat dropped the ball.
That very well might have tied this ball game.
It might have. So to be 2nd and 10 from the 31. Pitch. It's out to Tenlock, and he gets a couple of yards. Actually, more than that, he got a little further. He did get to the outside, push the defense back a bit to the 36-yard line. Cam Medlock, gain of about 4 on the play. Out to the 36. Actually, that'll be 5 yards, 3rd and 5. Yeah, that pass was wide open. He'd still be running. They would need the Forrest Gump crowd going stop, because he could have just kept going as long as he wanted.
Straight down to the baseball field down there.
Exactly. 3rd and 5, one wide receiver and a tight end. Handoff. That's going nowhere.
Yeah.
They hand it off, this time again to Medlock. He tries over the left side, nothing doing.
I think that was Bradford again in there on the stop, tackle for loss.
Looked like Josh Gilbert in there along with Bradford as well. Josh Gilbert, not a small character. 6'2", 320. Not a small man. So it'll be 4th down and a loss on that play of 1. So Ramirez again on the punt. This is about his what, 4th? 5th? 5th punt of the game.
This will be his 5th consecutive drive that's ended in a punt for South Point.
And they're going to have to kick from 5 yards further back. Illegal procedure. Movement in the line for South Point. So they'll do it again from 5 yards back.
Yeah, it's 5 penalties for 50 yards now on the Red Raiders in this one.
They went for a long time without any. Now they're racking up a few.
Yeah, Mustangs have been flagged 4 times for 25 yards.
So Ramirez will kick. Walker is the up back. Clark is the deep back. Good kick over the head of both of them. They're just going to let this one bounce, and it keeps going. Takes a South Point bounce, gets down to the 15-yard line, and it's finally touched there. So good punt. Punt of 55 yards. Yeah, 35 and 20.
I thought it was a little strange. They had both return guys up so close, just shy of midfield, and he bombed it right over both their heads.
He got a hold of that one better than he did a couple of the other ones, but those were also where he was trying to angle them out of bounds. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 15-yard line. 5:17 to go, 3rd quarter. 7-0 lead on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. 2 in the backfield. Mazzell hands off to Daly. Daly works his way around the right side. Ball came out.
I think a flag
I thought a flag
came
came in there as well. Yeah, we'll have to see what comes of this.
Flag came in right where the ball carrier was brought down.
And then the ball came out about 4 yards after that.
It looked like South Point came up with the ball.
They're not celebrating,
No,
so.
they're not.
Well, there is one person signaling that it is against East Lincoln. So here's the call. Personal foul, face mask against South Point. That may be why the football came out.
Yeah. It looked like he got dragged down pretty awkwardly out there on the outside. And it will be is it a 15-yarder or is it 5-yard?
Now, I don't think there is a 5-yard in the high school level.
I've seen it called this season.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
That could be a.
No, this is the full 15.
It's 15.
This one is getting the full treatment here.
Take it out across the 30.
And they take it to the 31-yard line, so that'll be an automatic 1st down for the Mustangs. Turner Hauser Insurance 1st down of Lincolnton.
That's 2 15-yard penalties on South Point here in this 3rd quarter.
Mazzell in the shotgun. Cutter and Daly both in the backfield. Quick throw. He's got Walker. This time he catches it, and he's shoved out of bounds. Should be enough for the 1st down or close to it.
That's how you finish a run right there. Walker put his shoulder down, made sure he got that 1st down instead of just stepping out of bounds.
Might be a little first half anger there.
Actually, it looks like he stepped out of bounds even before he did that because they're going to mark him a yard short.
So he gets to the 40. It's a gain of 9. They've had several 1st down passes for 9 yards now. They are hitting the short ones. Just can't quite hit the long ones like they have.
Yeah, haven't been able to open them up yet. Just the 142-yarder to Cutter.
Another quick out. It was for Clark. It was low. Clark is going to have trouble getting back to that and may have even had trouble getting the 1st down with that.
Yeah, Mazzell a little frustrated with himself after he let that one go. He knew.
Yeah, he's out there tapping his chest like, yeah, that's on me. And Mazzell just announced that he's going to be a preferred walk-on at Wake Forest next year.
Impressive. Congratulations to him.
So you got Cutter at West Virginia, Mazzell at Wake Forest, and Walker at Virginia. So some serious talent here for East Lincoln. Third down, handoff to Daly up the middle, and depends on the spot. He's close.
Yeah, it looks like he got just enough.
And they are signaling a first down. So another Turner and Hauser Insurance first down for the Mustangs. They're got to be creeping up on 20.
Yeah, they're at 17 right
17,
there.
okay.
South Point's done a pretty good job bottling up the run game. Aside from Mazzell early on got going with the quarterback run, but otherwise not a lot for East Lincoln on the ground so far.
And what's interesting is I think time of possession might be fairly even or actually in East Lincoln's favor.
Yeah, it might be.
Not what you expected with a Redbone in these two teams. Hand off to Daly, works his way around the left side. He's got an opening. He's out across the 40, across midfield, breaks a tackle, and he's finally shoved out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Good run by Daly.
Yeah, just as I said that they were really shutting down the run game, there goes Daly off the left tackle. A lot of running room there, picked up 18 yards in the first down.
Mustangs may make a statement here if they can get down the field and punch this one in.
Daly now the leading rusher at 63 yards on 10 carries.
For a second, I thought there was a flag on the field. Something fluttered down on the field down past the 30-yard line. But it's not a flag. It's, I don't know, somebody throw a paper airplane? What? So Mazzell back to pass, throws. Oh, he had Jackson Beam wide open down the sideline on a go route.
He was by himself.
He had plenty of time. If he'd put some air under that, that's a score. Just
exactly
let Beam run under it. Because the only person close in coverage was number 21, Micah Stowe, and he was a good 7-8 yards away from Beam.
Yeah, Mazzell tried to fire a bullet in there on the sideline. Like you said, if he puts a little touch on it, leads him some, that's probably a touchdown. Instead, it's 2nd and 10 at the South Point 40.
Still in good shape, 3:06 to go in the third quarter. Mazzell, quick pass over the middle. He's got Shropshire. He makes a man miss. He's going all the way to the far sideline, gets around the corner, and he's tackled inside the 20-yard line. About a 6-yard pass turned into about
It looked like about 22
21,
yards.
22-yard pass play. Nice pitch and catch and run there.
Yeah, first catch of the night for Shropshire. Makes it count.
A lot of yak there, yards after catch.
Mustangs back in the red zone here. They're 1 for 2 tonight in the red zone.
First down, just inside the 20, marked at the 19. Mazzell keeps it, goes over the left side, and he gets to the 15, slides down. So a gain of 4. I think there was a little miscommunication there. I thought he was trying to hand off to Daly going to the right, and he couldn't reach him.
Yeah, he made a little something out of nothing then, got 4 yards out of it.
That's probably why he slid down. He wasn't expecting to run. He was like, okay, we'll just get some yards and that'll be good.
Yeah, didn't take the hit on that one.
He did take some hits in the first half.
Yeah,
that may have been part of it too.
He put his shoulder down a couple times early on.
2nd and 6 from the 15. Mazzell hands off to Daly up the middle. He's got an opening, stumbles a bit, but he almost gets into the end zone.
Got down to the goal line, goes, I think that was Cutter actually who got the handoff that time.
Oh, was it?
Picked up 14 yards, now 1st and goal at the 1.
Mustangs going quick. Mazzell hands off, touchdown Mustangs.
And a late hit. Cutter
and
was
it's
in the end
swung
zone.
to the ground in the end zone.
Yeah, long after he crossed the goal line. No flag came in, but Cutter not happy about that.
No, he turned around to see who it was. I think if he finds him on offense, he might pay him back.
Yeah, that's not the guy I'd want to hit late because he's going to be patrolling the field on defense here in just a moment.
He's out there taking notes. That's not a good thing. So 1:43 to go. It's a Gates auction touchdown for the Mustangs, and they're now up 13-0. 1:43 to go. Maletta on for the What's Up Shopper extra point. High snap. Mazzell gets it down, kick is up, and it's good. So on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, Mustangs 14, Red Raiders 0. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout.
What's the best way to explain the golf at Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden? It's world-class golf for the working class. Yes, golf is never better than it is at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden, with special programs for seniors, men, ladies, and juniors, plus a driving range, banquet facilities, and a swimming pool, picnic area, and more. For your tee time or other questions, call 828-428-2451. The Glen Oaks Golf Course, 245 Golf Course Road in Maiden. It's world class for the working class.
For the best selection in town, head to the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. They've got it. Right now, take 15% off all Christmas items in their Christmas shop. Check out their ammo section, including 9mm 223s, 12 gauge, BBs, and pellets, plus all kinds of name brand power tools for Dad. And right now, they have some used Bobcat mowers. And coming soon, Milwaukee Tools and their brand new greenhouse. And don't forget about the big mulch yard at the new Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too.
Line. Seems to be a little rise in the intensity level after that touchdown, and then on that kickoff there seems to be more yapping than we would normally see.
It's time for this South Point offense to get something done here. Still scoreless here in the third quarter. They're running out of time, especially the way they like to play. Down 2 touchdowns now.
1st and 10 at the 25. Lee back to pass, throws, and it's intercepted. Keandre Walker was sitting on that route. He's got the ball. We're going to have a penalty flag behind the play. And he's still on his feet. He gets to the middle of the field, works his way back, and he does return it for a touchdown.
Oh, no.
But there's a flag back at the 25-yard line that we saw early in the return. That's probably going to be a block in the back, but it's still going to be a turnover.
Walker was down in the end zone there, too, at the end of that. He's being helped off the field.
Walker got hit from behind even after he was in the end zone. Somebody hit him from behind it in the lower leg.
Yeah, he got rolled up. He's being helped off the field, not putting any pressure really on that leg.
And again, that's one, I think there should be a flag on that one.
Yeah, he was across the goal line.
I'm not being a homer, I'm being a broadcaster. I'm just calling the game. You don't hit a guy when he's standing in the end zone.
No, that's twice. Cutter got hit after he scored that last touchdown, and right there, the flag was on the Mustangs during the return, so the touchdown wiped out, but East Lincoln will have the ball in South Point territory.
So to get the ball at the 38-yard line, Walker was just sitting there going, throw the ball, I got this. You could see him just waiting, baiting him into throwing the ball out there, and he was ready for it. So Walker's on the sideline here.
Yeah, he's not out there to start this drive.
So 2-possession lead. Walker's still down on the sideline, down by the 10-yard line. That's why we got an injury timeout at the moment.
Kind of looks like they're stretching him out, so maybe hopefully just cramping.
He was well into the end zone and stopped when he got hit in the lower leg from behind.
Got some score updates here. Burns is on the board up there at Reedsville. Got a touchdown but missed the extra point, so they're trailing 17-6 now. That's in the third quarter up there at Reedsville, midway through the third quarter. Some other scores, Mount Airy up 21-0 on Drone in the 1A West Regional Final. On the east side of this bracket, Northern Nash is leading 71st 10-6. So the winner of that one plays the winner of this one next Saturday night.
7 p.m. at NC State, Carter Finley Stadium.
And then the 4A West final, Weddington and Grimsley all tied up 21 apiece in that one.
And that final will be played Friday night, 7 p.m. at Chapel Hill.
Yep. That's the lone game that'll be played on Friday night this year. The other 3 on Saturday, I believe 11, 3, and 7.
That's correct. Yeah, the 1A game at, no, is it the 2A game? The 2A game at 11 a.m.
Yeah, Chapel Hill.
The 1A game at 3 o'clock at NC State, and then in the nightcap, it'll be the 3A game, also at NC State at 7 p.m. So we're having an extended timeout here. Walker is still laying down on the sideline.
It's like they're trying to help him back up to his feet now.
I think they need more than that one trainer to do it.
Yeah, I think that's Coach Lubowitz just went over there with
Yeah.
him, maybe. He is back up on his feet now. Looks like he's moving around better than he was. Dapping up a couple fans over there. Hopefully he'll be all right for the fourth quarter. If the Mustangs can punch it in here, they might not need him for the fourth quarter. So
They
we'll
might
see.
not. So we'll see what happens here. Usually Shropshire will come in. So again, 4 wide receivers, Daly in the backfield. 1st and 10 at the 39. Zell back to pass. Dances around, a little bit of pressure. Now he's running to his left, looks, throws. He's got a receiver. It's caught, but he's pushed out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. The pass was to Riley Shropshire in the game for Walker. And back behind the play, you got a holding call against East Lincoln.
So that'll back him up 10 yards.
Actually more than that because it was behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be 10 plus.
Yeah, it's about 4 yards in the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the line of scrimmage was a 38, so it'll be in essence a 14-yard penalty.
It's the 5th penalty of the night on the Mustangs.
Pushes back to their own 48-yard line. It'll be 1st and 24.
Yeah, a little bit of work to do now.
This is the second time they've had a turnover, and so far they've not been able to do anything with either turnover.
They recovered a fumble early in that first quarter after they had just went up 7-0. Drove it down inside the 10 before they stalled and turned it over on downs.
Motion is Clark. Fakes, throw over the middle. It's caught by Jackson Beam. He gets the penalty back and maybe one more.
That's a heck of a catch right there. All hands, that's how you're supposed to do it.
That's why I was wondering earlier why they don't target him a little more. He always seems to find open space real well.
Yeah,
but as you pointed out, you got Clark, you got Shropshire, you've got Walker, Cutter's good out of the backfield, so's Daly. I mean, there's so many weapons on this team.
That is 4 catches now, 36 yards for Jackson Beam tonight.
Wonder if we can refer to him as a sub, but he is a starter, so I guess that wouldn't work too well. Daly takes it. He's got an opening in space. Across the right, lowers the boom across the 25-yard line. It'll be another Turner Hauser Insurance first down. And maybe at this point, East Lincoln's line is starting to wear down the front for South Point because they've been running the ball a little bit better this half.
Yeah, I was just about to say they're really starting to open up some holes up front, and Daly's getting some chunk plays out of it.
Okay, and that'll be the last play of the third quarter. It's 14-0 East Lincoln on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. We'll be back after this 60-second timeout on the Lincoln County playoff game of the week.
Tired of pests and bugs around your house? Do you see signs of termites, wet basement or crawl space, mold or mildew? Call the best. Call Neeline Cole, a local termite and pest control and moisture and water control business located in Bowling Springs. Voted the best for 12 years running. They have the skills and experience to help make your home more comfortable, to save you money on your energy bills, or to inspect a home you're buying for prior or present costly damage. Call Neeline Cole today at 704-434-9411 for a free estimate. Use the best. Neeline Cole, proudly serving the Carolinas.
Hey, I'm Joey Logano, and if you're looking for affordable quality equipment, James River delivers.
Whether you're mowing your lawn, hauling material, or baling hay, James River has the John Deere mowers, tractors, Gator utility vehicles, and implements you need to get it done fast. Plus, with low-rate financing and big cash rebates, James River makes owning a John Deere just as easy as it is to operate. Request a quote online at jamesriverequipment.com.
James River delivers affordable quality.
16-yard line.
Yeah, he's up and all right after losing his lid. He's running hard now, trying to close this game out.
Goes around the right side. He'll have to come out, even though it didn't look like it came off by any of his own doing. But a good run on first down. It'll be 2nd and 3 after a 7-yard gain to the 15. Cutter in the backfield, deep in the eye behind Mizell. Hand off to Cutter, not much there. Works his way over the left side, maybe a gain of 1.
Yeah, he slipped the first tackler in the backfield and was able to pick up that yard before coming to a stop and make it 3rd and short.
Okay, no gain is what they're saying. Daly's still on the sideline.
As is Keandre Walker.
Cutter moves over to the left side next to Mizell. Mizell signals to the left. Throws. Oh, he had a receiver open.
Yeah, it looked like the receiver might have tripped as he was coming out of his break right there.
Yeah, the throw was low a bit too, but it would have been a first down if the catch had been made.
Yeah, he was coming open on that slant route.
So here we go. We talked about the kickers earlier. This Chris Milletta's on to try a 34-yard field goal, well within his range, but this would make it a 3-score ball game for East Lincoln.
Yep. Here early in the 4th quarter, 10:46 left to play.
So Mizell will hold right about 34. Snap, kick is up, and it's pulled.
Yeah, he missed it to the left again. Missed one to the left going in the other direction earlier, and then pushes this one as well. So still just a 14-0 lead for the Mustangs.
But the way they've played defensively, a two-score lead might be enough. They've bottled up South Point pretty well. So again, the kick goes into the end zone. South Point will get possession at the 20-yard line. Still just one wide receiver for South Point. Handoff up the middle. He's got an opening. It's Medlock. Medlock gets out across the 35-yard line. Gain of 16 on the play. Nate Stevens finally brings him down.
That's the best play South Point's had in this second half so far.
They're going to need more like that if they're going to crawl back into this ball game.
Yeah, and quickly.
Now 2 wide receivers. Blee keeps it, and he gets bottled up in the backfield. First one in there. Who else? Ben Cutter. Cutter shoots in there.
Yeah, Blee just hasn't had the speed to get that outside on this East Lincoln defense. They've been able to chase him down before he can turn it up.
Cutter came flying in there, slowed him down, and that allowed Johnson and others to come up and finish off the tackle. We've got a player down for East Lincoln at the 26-yard line. One of their defenders. We cannot see who it is.
Yeah, talking about Blee, the quarterback, that's now 7 carries for just 1 yard.
Yeah, he has not done much all night.
He came into this game averaging about 8 yards a carry on the season.
It was 55. That should be Aiden Terrell. He seems to be okay now. I think he just got whipped around and maybe his leg collided with somebody else.
And Terrell had a big interception early in that ball game last week.
They're pushing the toe down. It's just a cramp of the calf on his left leg.
Yeah.
So he'll be out for a play or two. Get him. Yeah, he's got the Gatorade bottle in his hand.
Just a matter of note, Walker is back in there for the Mustangs on defense. Keandre Walker back at his cornerback position.
So Blee lost 1 on that play. It'll be 2nd and 11. 10 minutes to go in the game. Handoff to Medlock. He gets a few yards, maybe to the 40, maybe to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, he's closing in on 100 now tonight. He's at 93 on 14 carries. A little slow to get up after that one.
He's been knocked around pretty good on those inside carries.
Yeah, he's trying to shake it off. Shake the cobwebs loose out there. He is going to stay in.
So gain of 5 on the play. 3rd and 6 from the 40-yard line.
It's got to be 4-down territory for South Point at this point, you would think.
Lee back to pass, looks downfield, throws. He's got a receiver out there. It's caught. Pass is pulled in by Aaron Cheney.
At 30 yards.
Just. That was right out on the end of his hands. Nice catch by Cheney. He's finally knocked out of bounds. Jalen Shropshire, or Jalen Roseboro rather. I'm getting my players mixed up. First name of one, last name of the other. So that gets them down to the 33-yard line. It'll be a Turner Hauser Insurance first down, and that's not many for them, is it?
No, that's number 7 so far tonight.
And East Lincoln's up over 20.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they've had receivers running open, though, when the few times they've decided to pass, they've had guys open in the secondary.
Blee keeps it.
Easily.
Goes around the right side. He gets out over the 20-yard line, and for the first time tonight, South Point is going to be in the red zone.
Yeah, there's 15 yards on that one for Blee.
So 2 big plays in a row for South Point. They're in business. 19-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock running, 8:30 to go in the ball game. But they need a score on this possession, down 2 full scores. Field goals will not do them any good at this point.
No.
Blee looks, throws. It's got a man out in the flat. It's caught. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another tackle. He gets close to the end zone. He's going to be just short. So South Point with 1st and goal now. This is by far their best drive of the night.
Yeah, moving the ball through the air a little bit here.
Jackson Blee, the brother of the quarterback, and he's a big target. When I was down on the field before the game, he was about 6'5" or so. Probably plays basketball as well. It wouldn't surprise me. So 1st and goal at the 2. Handoff up the middle. And a touchdown, South Point. So a Gates auction touchdown for the Red Raiders, and that makes it 14-6 with the What's Up Shopper extra point to come.
Big turn of events here in the last few minutes. East Lincoln got that interception, set them up in South Point territory. The chance to score, make it a 3-score lead. They opted for the field goal that missed, and then South Point takes it right back down the field and only took them about 3 minutes to go 80 yards.
Charles Burt whistle comes on for the extra point. It's good. So on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, Mustangs 14, Red Raiders 7. We'll be back with the rest of the game after this 60-second timeout.
Getting interesting.
Yeah, well, this is what I come for. I want close. I haven't had close the whole month of November and most of October. The last close game I had was Lincolnton and Bandy's way back in early October. And that was crazy. That game was nuts.
Lincolnton played a few crazy ones.
Well, there was a trick play by Bandy's right before the half, and oh my God, then there was a fight.
Yeah, and their coach tore his knee all up out there trying to stop it.
Yep. He said, "Sniper got me," after the game. Back here at East Lincoln, Burt Whistle kicks off for South Point. Ball is fielded by Keandre Walker. He brings it back up the field. Brought down at the 16-yard line. The ball came loose after he was on the ground. It was immediately signaled by the referee behind the play.
Walker's not moving very well right now. His gait didn't look too good on that return. He's jogging off to the sideline as we speak.
He's already had hamstring issues with one leg. We've seen that throughout the postseason. Now he's coming off again. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 16-yard line, but now things have gotten a little more interesting. Only up 1 touchdown. They could really stand to get a drive and some points on this one to put this game away. Mazzell looks, passes low to Markel Clark, incomplete.
Yeah, down around the knees there. He got his hands down to it, unable to come up with it.
Kind of a tough catch. You're going backwards, and then you have to reach behind you and low to pull it in as you're still going backwards.
Definitely didn't put it on the money.
They've been running the ball a little bit better this half and throwing it too, but they just can't seem to put everything together with a maybe they can put one together here and finally put this game away and get to the state title game next week. Hand off to Daly up the middle. He's got an opening. He gets close to a 1st down.
Very close.
Another good run by Chris Daly, and they're signaling move the chains. It's a Turner Hauser Insurance 1st down for the Mustangs. And this is what they need. Move the chains like they have all game.
Yeah.
There really hasn't been an explosive play other than the trick play. They just keep moving the chains all game.
Run that clock down and finish this drive with some points. You'll be in good shape. Daly now closing in on 100 yards. He's at 96 on 13 carries.
Hand off again to Daly up the middle. Pile moves forward to about the 30-yard line. That should be a gain of about 3 on the play.
Now unofficially just a yard shy of 100.
Pick up the 3, brings up 2nd and 7 for the Mustangs.
So again, East Lincoln milking the clock here, taking their time. They like to stand at the line of scrimmage and look over to Coach Matt Beam, the offensive coordinator, see what the call will be. Usual formation, 2 wide receivers each side, Daly in the backfield. Hand off to Daly again, not much there. He does manage to fall forward a bit, out to about the 33-yard line, so there's more there than it looked. Gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
Huge play in this ball game right here.
Definitely.
Mustangs, if they can convert, maybe eat up a couple more minutes at the very least. South Point obviously needs the ball back.
And they are selling out at the moment. They have 10 players within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, 1 safety back. That's Will Ross. He's the only one back deep. Now a couple back off, the receivers. Daly again up the middle, stumbles forward, but it should be enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, I think he stumbled just far enough and got a yard more than he needed.
As Chris Berman would say, bumbling, stumbling, rumbling. A bit of a Keith Jackson there too. He stumbles forward for the 1st down.
22 1st downs tonight for East Lincoln by my count.
22?
Yep.
Wow, that's a huge number. And they are going to run the clock here.
Yeah, it'll be down almost 5 minutes when this snap is.
Play clock at 5. Handoff on the sweep. It's Clark. He gets to the corner. Just misses getting drilled by Will Ross. Coming out of bounds. A good play there. Problem there is it stops the clock running out of bounds.
I think that's the first time they've gotten the ball into Clark's hands in this 2nd half so far.
So they get it to the 36. That'll be a gain of about 3 again. You know, keep putting those 3-4 yard runs together. It's enough to keep the chains moving.
Clock stopped at 5:05 after Clark ran out of bounds there.
Play clock's down to 6, although it doesn't really matter. You're not running game clock at this point. Daly up the middle. He's got an opening.
Fumbled.
I
think South Point might be on top of it.
And the signal is South Point does have it.
Wow.
Daly had the ball, had a gain of about 3 or 4 yards, but then it coughed it up.
New life for the Red Raiders here. Got to have the ball in East Lincoln territory.
And the recovery's made by Josh Crowder, number 45 for South Point. The South Point sideline went nuts, fans and everything on that recovery. And now the East Lincoln crowd is coming up to cheer on their defense.
Yeah, this defense has gotten the job done all season long, so it's exactly which unit you want on the field with the game on the line.
Hand off to Medlock. He's met at the line of scrimmage, falls forward inside the 40.
Yeah,
so the first down play, it looked like he was hit at the line of scrimmage, but he did manage to gain 3 yards on the play.
That was Aiden Terrell on the stop there.
Both sides of the field, fans are lit up, cheering their teams on. 4:27 to go. Blee keeps it, pitches. You got it. 35 with a carry, Jackson Blee. There's a blatant hold out at the corner here.
No flag on.
He had a guy wrapped around. Wait a minute.
Oh, maybe there was a flag.
They did get the hold.
There you go.
They did. There was a blatant hold that allowed Blee to get around the corner and gain some yardage. I didn't see a flag right away. It's because it's right here on the sideline. It was being blocked by the East Lincoln players on the sideline.
Huge call. That was going to be a first down around the East Lincoln 30. Now instead it'll be second and quite a ways to go.
Now they're pushed back to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, it'll be second and about
16, 17 yards. One wide receiver. Pitch is back to number 12. He throws. He's got a pass downfield. Coverage is there.
Yeah, Keandre Walker just had him blanketed down that far sideline.
Elijah Pfeiffer took the pitch, threw down the field. But Keandre Walker, even slightly unhealthy, is not someone you want to throw at often. He has shut down receivers all season.
Yeah, you're not going to beat him deep too many times. Not going to make a living picking on him on the outside.
So that makes it 3rd and 16, 4:12 to go. Ball at the Mustang 49-yard line. They need to get to the 33 for a first down. Pitch out. It's Ross again.
They got a huge chunk of it.
They got a good amount of it.
Yeah, he might have
but he went out
earlier.
He went out of bounds at the 40, so it's going to be about 8 yards short at this point. And it'll be 4th down. And this is going to be a big play. 4:04 remaining.
About 4th and 8.
4th and 8 from the 40. They've got to get to the 32 for a first down. Easily the most important play of the ball game right here.
Let's see if this Mustangs defense can stand up, force a turnover on downs after the fumble.
Well, if there are people sitting here at the game, I don't see them. Both sides standing, sidelines up and interested.
South Point
going to let the clock run. They're going to call a timeout here. This is a good time to take one because it's 4th down. Your season's on the line.
Yeah, you better pick a play you like. Whatever your best play is, you run it right here. I think we just heard final score, Northern Nash 23, 71st 22.
Wow, what a ball game that is. So Northern Nash will be the opponent for the winner of this game next Saturday night at NC State, 7 o'clock.
I believe Northern Nash is the #1 seed out of the East on that side of the bracket. Yeah, got some confirmation up here in the press box.
Yes, they are. 71st was the 3rd seed, so they had 2 of the top seeds going there.
Sounded like a heck of a ball game down there.
The only reason South Point isn't a high seed is because they lost 1 game to Kings Mountain, just the way they seed things.
Yep.
But this is a quality team in South Point facing a big play here on 4th down.
I think it's been Kings Mountain, East Lincoln, and South Point in the top 3 of the Max Preps rankings all year long. So you're right about this South Point team.
Lee back to pass, looks. He about falls down in the backfield, gets hit, and he is sacked in the backfield. He had all day, and look who, Marcel Johnson sacks back at the 44-yard line of South Point. Big loss on the play. Blee had a lot of time, scrambled for a long time, Great coverage downfield. No one was open.
Yeah, they only sent 2, maybe 3 receivers out into the route back there, and East Lincoln just dropped back in that zone and covered it all up, and they finally brought Glebe down after he shook a few would-be tacklers.
7 defenders against 3 wide receivers, and that's usually going to win.
Yeah.
And then just give Marcel Johnson enough time. He's going to get in there.
Yeah, Johnson got him down. Nero was back there as well, as was Bradford. Team effort to get him down for the sack.
So 3:52 to go. East Lincoln takes over at the 44 of South Point. Trying to run the clock out. Daly again hangs on to it this time. Gets a yard, maybe 2 on first down. And South Point, no, East Lincoln is going to take, South Point's going to take a timeout. Referee spun around. It wasn't me, it was the referee. I usually have my own issues, but he added to it.
That was Daly on that first down carry?
Yes, it was. So we've got 3:41 to go. Let's reset here. It's 14-7 on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard. Mustangs lead. The winner of this game will play Northern Nash next Saturday night at NC State. Carter Finley Stadium. And of course, near my favorite place, PNC Arena.
There you go.
Hockey fan that I am.
Hurricanes playing next weekend at home?
No.
Oh,
no,
man.
they're on a 6-game road trip, and they're only 2 games in. They're in Los Angeles tomorrow night, and then Anaheim Tuesday night. And
They're a long ways away.
Then the Islanders in Detroit. So they're gone. Everything's cleared out so they can have the state playoffs and not have a hockey game at the same time.
I was going to say you might be able to catch the Canes and then hit the football game. Second and 8.
So 2 timeouts left for the Mustangs, just 1 now for South Point after that. 3:41, 2nd and 8 at the 42 of the Red Raiders.
Ooh,
Almost offside, but not quite. He moved, but not into the zone. Mizell keeps it. He slides down at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, fantastic read on that play by Mizell. Pulled it at the exact right time. Found some open space and got down near the first down line to gain.
It was a great read because there was a player coming up and took Daly out if he had gotten the ball. But Mizell just kept it, went inside of that defender. Big gain on the play, 6 yards. It'll be 3rd and 2 at the 36, clock running.
Yeah, clock will tick down to under 3 minutes before this one is snapped, I imagine. Close to it.
It's still 10 on the play clock, so it should be under it. Cutter in motion. Daly follows Cutter. He's got the first down.
Yep.
He's across the 35 down to the 31. First down. Another Turner Hauser Insurance first down. I should get that right after 24 of these tonight. The 24th? Is it the 24th first down?
Yes, I did mark that one.
The 24th first down for East Lincoln this evening. That is ball control. And we would have figured that one out of South Point, but not East Lincoln like this. Cutter backs up. Mizell hands off to Daly this time. They're keying on Daly. Big hit, but Daly ducked under it, and the defender took the worst of it. William Kincaid is nailed by friendly fire.
Looks like South Point's going to take its last time out.
2:19 to go. Big loss on the play there, so a good time to take that timeout.
They do have East Lincoln behind the yard markers here. That was a loss of 4 there on first down.
The thing is, if they run a couple more plays, they could run most of this clock out.
Yeah, they can take it down to at least about a minute left.
Yeah, about a minute. If they get a first down, then that's it.
Yeah, that's the ball game.
If they can get the first down, that will be the ball game. No more timeouts.
Even if they don't, they're going to have South Point in a tough spot where they're going to have to rely on passing the ball to take it a long way, a long field they'll have to drive, even if they do get it back without allowing a score.
So we thank you for listening to us tonight. If you want to see some of the highlights, every TV station in Charlotte is here because there is no other game in the area. This is the game. All the Charlotte teams have been eliminated other than Weddington, and they're way up in Greensboro.
Yep.
Burns is up in Reedsville. drawings up in Mount Airy, so this is the only game anywhere near Charlotte. And there are only 8 games being played statewide right now.
It's been a good one to this point.
Yes, it has. East Lincoln's been in control for most of it. Hand off to Daly up the middle. He gets over the 30-yard line, so he gets back the loss and a yard. So it'll be 3rd down and 9, and they are going to let, we got 30 seconds on the clock, so they'll get it down to about 1:37 when they snap it the next time. And then another 40 seconds after that. It's going to be under a minute when 4th down.
You would just keep the ball on the ground here, right? No reason to worry about the first down. I would just run it. If you don't get it, then pin them deep with a little under a minute left.
Yeah, run the ball. Now, it's spread out as they're going to have some of the defenders.
It's like East Lincoln's going to run it down and then call a timeout.
Ran it right down to 0, so 1:37 to go. We'll keep it here because the timeouts, the referees have been keeping this game moving.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the play call is coming out of this timeout. It's 3rd and about 9 at the 30-yard line.
We got Daly at how many yards now? He's
Daly
had a lot of carries.
113 on 20 carries.
He's been the workhorse tonight. Cutter with some runs. I wouldn't be surprised to see Daly follow Cutter around the outside to the wide side. They've tried that play before.
Yeah, it's been kind of the bread and butter here.
It runs some time. Makes, you know, you can string it out if you want, but Daly just needs to go down.
Yep.
If he carries it. Or do they fake it and Mazzell takes off because he's been pretty successful tonight too.
It's been there. It definitely was there in the first quarter.
We need Tony Romo to come in here and tell us what's going to happen before it happens.
That's why they're paying him millions.
he does a great job. It's amazing. I think they should do this, and they do. 3rd down and 9. Hand off to Daly. Not much there. He gets submarine in the backfield by Jaquise Rumpf, who's had played a great game for South Point. So to be 4th down and 9, clock is rolling. It will be under a minute.
Yeah, it'll
about
tick down.
50 seconds.
Yeah, they'll probably just take the delay of game on this one. They do have a timeout left. I suppose they could call the timeout.
I imagine they will at this point. They'll run every second off they can. So it'll be 50 seconds approximately.
South Point's going to have to reach deep into its bag of play calls.
Lubowitz walking over to the official on the sideline here. 2, 1, and there's the call for the timeout. 49 seconds left. East Lincoln has used their last timeout. Both teams are out of timeouts.
Yeah, South Point's going to have a long field to cover with not much time to work with and no way to stop the clock.
So what do you see here? Do they run the ball or can Mazzell pooch kick?
Yeah, I don't know.
If there's nobody back, I would pooch kick.
I'd punt it and try to put it in the corner, see how deep you can pin them.
It'd be interesting to see what comes out on this.
Yeah, they lost about a yard on that 3rd down play. So
yeah, Rumpf fired in there, took Daly's legs out.
It's 4th and a full 10. If they did convert, it would be over.
Yes. Because no timeouts. It'll just stop the clock long enough to do the chains. 1 victory formation, that'll be it. So here it comes, 4th and 9.
They are sending the offense back out.
The offense is on the field.
Like you said, a pooch punt is a possibility here, maybe.
There's nobody back for South Point. So if you do a pooch kick, you don't have to worry about a return. Mazzell in the shotgun. And you got a penalty. Hold on, this one's going to come back.
They were running a play, too. That wasn't a pooch punt.
No, it wasn't.
It's a false start.
Wide receiver on the far side, one of them flinched. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty. So the clock is down to 45 seconds. It was 49 at the timeout.
Yeah, they'll probably put a few seconds back on the clock.
So they are going to put the 4 seconds back on the clock. Dead ball penalty, so the clock
Gets
rolled back.
Still keeping
and
the
they're
offense
still
out
got the
here.
offense out there. And again,
15.
nobody back for South Point. So Mazzell in the shotgun. He's looking to throw. Now he's running around. He's being chased. He's got space out there. He's heading for the first down. I'm not sure he got it.
Yeah, I think he's a couple yards short.
He's pointing like he got the first down. It's going to depend on the spot here.
Like
and he will be short.
Yeah, just a yard short. Needed 15,
it was so
got
close.
14. Nothing else. It is almost like a punt and a touchback. And it gets them down around the 20.
So they'll get the ball at the 22-yard line. No timeouts. 40 seconds on the clock. So not a bad move there by East Lincoln. They almost got the first down. I think if Mazzell had taken off a bit sooner, he could have outrun it to the corner. One wide receiver for South Point. Blee, back to pass, looks, flushed out of the pocket, throws, goes off the hands of his receiver, incomplete. Coverage there by Hampton, good. It was intended for Dawson Tobin. That only used 6 seconds. It'll be 2nd and 10. 34 seconds to go. Last gasp for South Point. 78 yards away from the end zone. Man in motion makes it 3 wide receivers to the right. Blee rolls, throws. The defender fell down. The catch is made.
That was Walker. His leg
He went
gave
down
out on him again.
Walker was in coverage on that side, and he fell, or his leg gave way, and that left Elijah Pfeiffer wide open because that was not exactly a pretty one. That pass fluttered in the air like a wounded duck.
Yeah, they brought Pfeiffer in motion across the formation, and so ended up having 3 receivers to this near side, and the Mustangs only had 2 defenders over there to cover him.
And then Walker falls down.
Yeah, so it was really 3-on-1. Fortunate that the throw was so short.
Oh,
if
if
you'd
it
have
had
let
been
him
a good
out
throw,
there, that might have been a touchdown.
A good throw would have been a touchdown.
Walker again.
Now being helped off the field. Every other time he's managed to walk off at some point. This time he does not.
Yeah, it's that left leg that's bothering him.
He's had issues with that for the last 3 or 4 games. He's played through it.
It's a big loss here where South Point has to put the ball in the air.
25 seconds to go. East Lincoln ahead 14-7, no timeouts, 1st and 10 at the Mustang 40-yard line. Now going out wide is Jackson Blee, 6'5" tight end. Well, you don't have Walker out there with his size and length to cover him.
Yeah, it's Roseboro
Blee
now.
rolls out, being chased, throws. It goes to Blee. It's caught.
Yeah,
and he gets out of bounds. No, they're saying they're rolling the clock.
Wow.
18. So they stop the clock long enough for the first down. And they spike it to stop the clock. 15 seconds to go. They got a first down at the 27-yard line on that play. 13 yards on the pass. So it'll be 2nd and 10. 15 seconds to go.
They can either try and pick up another 10, 15 yards, run up and spike it again, and then take a shot, or you can take 2 shots, 2-3 shots from here.
I'm not sure Blee can throw it far enough from here, based on the last pass over here.
He didn't get it.
That ball
Maybe
fluttered
30
terrible.
yards. Barely. They're running
Again,
the
same play. Blee rolls out, and he's hit in the backfield. Cutter came in, slowed him down.
5 seconds, 4.
And finished off. He's tackled in bounds. Why is the clock stopped? There's a penalty flag on the field.
Personal face
mask.
Wow. Wow.
7 seconds to go. Blee got around the outside, was hit by Cutter. I don't know if that was when the face mask occurred. But then on the tackle, so it's being marked off from the 25-yard line. So this one's going to come down to the very last second.
Yeah, South Point's going to have a shot here from about the 10, 15-yard line, somewhere in there.
If it's half the distance, it should be about the 12 and a half. 10-yard mark off. So that's going to put it at the 15-yard line.
Never heard of a 10-yard face mask, but we'll take it.
So it's going to be first down. So they're going to put the time back to 9 seconds on the clock. And now another discussion on the field.
Seems to be a weird spot on that penalty, but.
So it's first and 10, but that's not really going to matter.
Now they put it at the 12 and a half.
Now they've got it at the 12 and a half, so it was half the distance. And it's going to be first down from the 12, 7 seconds left. South Point now has 3 wide receivers in the game, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Blee rolls out to the right towards the receivers, looks, throws, it's intercepted! Picked off by East Lincoln, that's going to do it. And the clock has run out. East Lincoln is going to the state championship game.
Wow.
Hampton Good appeared to be the one to pick it off. So the final score, Mustangs 14, South Point 7. The crowd rushing the field, the students out to join the football players.
What a ball game.
What a fantastic ball game.
Mustangs going to the state championship next weekend to take on Northern Nash.
7 o'clock at NC State, and we will be bringing you that ball game here on WCSL and KTC online.
And Mustangs will be going for a perfect season.
15-0 now for the Mustangs.
What a scene here at East Lincoln. Students now heading back to their stands.
It wasn't Hampton, it was Ben Cutter.
How fitting is that?
How fitting is that? He's been the star on their defense along with many stars, but the star on the defense all year. Cutter steps in front, picks off Blee, and that ends the ball game. So the final score, East Lincoln 14, South Point 7. Fantastic ball game. We'll be back with a recap of the game after this 2-minute timeout.
It's time to start planning for cold winter weather with one call to Rye Heating and Air in Lincoln. They are locally owned and operated with a team of friendly, skilled, and experienced professionals. Get a free estimate on replacement or new installation. Take up to $1,750 off select carrier equipment. And ask about their one-time heating maintenance special for just $75. Call 980-389-0008 for Rye Heating and Air. Online at ryeheatingandair.com. Like them on Facebook too.
It's time to go to work at Triad Corrugated Metals in Lincoln. They're now hiring for manufacturing jobs, and they'll train. Just drop by their location at 108 Industrial Park in Lincoln. And with Triad Corrugated Metal Roofing, you buy direct, thus saving you money. See one of the largest selections of colors in North Carolina. That's Triad Corrugated Metal Roofing, 108 Industrial Park in Lincoln. For more information, call 980-429-2278.
At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that matter to their employees, customers, and neighbors. Over the years, United Bank has grown in size, but their community focus has not changed. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. United Bank, member FDIC. Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincoln, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincoln. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com.
field on the campus of East Lincoln Mustang. And the Mustangs are the 2022 3A West Regional Champions, beating South Point 14-7. They advance to the state championship game against Northern Nash next Saturday night at NC State, 7 o'clock. We will have coverage here as we have all season. So a recap of the game, part of the stadium postgame show, brought to you by United Bank of Lincolnton, Boger City, Denver, and Vail. The East Lincoln players are all in the center of the field. I believe there is a trophy presentation about to go on.
Getting that hardware.
Got to have the hardware. So they will be 15-0. South Point, fantastic season, 13-2. The only two losses are to Kings Mountain and East Lincoln.
Okay.
Two of the top teams in the state. Nothing
Absolutely.
to be hanging their heads about. They played a great game, had a shot at the end. That's all as broadcasting asked for. Give me a game, comes down on the line like that. A fantastic game by both teams.
Yeah, with everything at stake, both teams showed up and played their hearts out.
So a recap of the game is brought to you by Kiever Pharmacy of Lincolnton, and Matt, take it away. What a game to recap.
Yeah, we'll start with the South Point team. Really not a whole lot of offense. They did get it going through the air there in the fourth quarter.
And that was surprising. They threw it quite well.
They had some
most
success. Patrick Blee passing the ball 5 of 7 for 105 yards through the air. Pretty much all of that coming in the fourth quarter, like I said. Throwing to his older brother, Jackson Blee, came down 3 catches for 40 yards. Cheney had a catch for 27 yards as well. Blee did throw that, actually threw 2 interceptions in the game, including the one to Cutter there at the very end. Keandre Walker also came up with one in the third quarter as well. So got some yardage going through the air, but the 2 interceptions proved pivotal. On the ground, South Point only managed about 140 or so yards rushing, which I would imagine is well below their season average. Medlock led the way, 16 carries for 98 yards. Blee carried it 9 times for a net total of 0 yards. That last sack there on the drive before the last one really hurt his average. Pfeiffer, 3 carries, 17 yards. Tobin, 1 carry, 11 yards. And Ross, 3 carries for 23 yards. The 3 turnovers really story of the game for the South Point offense, the 2 interceptions and the fumble early in the ball game.
Just looked at my notes. They'd had 4,200 yards of rushing and in 14 games, so over 300 yards a game, and they were held to 140.
Yeah.
Again, this East Lincoln defense getting the job done.
Absolutely. Over to the East Lincoln offense. Big second half for Chris Daly. Carried the ball 13 times after halftime. 20 carries total for 113 yards and the touchdown run. Mazel carried it 13 times for 79 yards. Cutter, 9 carries for 34 yards. And Markel Clark had a carry for 3 yards. Through the air, Mazel 13 of 21 for 160 yards. His favorite targets, Keandre Walker, 4 catches, 38 yards. Jackson Bean, 4 catches, 36 yards. Markel Clark, 3 catches, 22 yards. Riley Shropshire, 1 catch, 22 yards. And Ben Cutter, 1 catch for 42 yards. The Mustangs finished the game.
And the big second catch, the interception.
Yeah, and the interception. Mustangs finished the game with 24 first downs against the fantastic South Point team and just an incredible ball game.
So that's your Kiever Pharmacy recap of the game. Now they've presented the trophy. The player of the game for South Point was Cam Medlock. Good choice there. He really ran hard in there. So they've presented the hardware to East Lincoln in the student section, which I guess tonight's uniform was all black.
Yeah, blackout, I suppose.
Looks like the New Zealand rugby team out here or something. So a bit of a blackout here at East Lincoln as the student section runs out on the field to congratulate the players as well. Parents is coming out. So time to get to some post-game awards here. And the first one is the sub of the game, brought to you by Subway of Boger City.
Yeah, we're not a not looking at someone who was a sub per se. Obviously, this deep in the playoffs, the reserves don't get a lot of time on the field. So we will just recognize a guy who had a good game but didn't end up being one of the other 3 award winners. We're looking at Jackson Beam, who was very effective tonight in the slot at his receiver position. Tied for the team lead with 4 catches in the ball game, picked up 36 yards on those 4 catches, was able to move the chains a couple of times. Just a big presence, and especially there towards the end when Keandre Walker had to come off the field, Beam was out there to pick up the slack and had a good night.
So the sub of the game, Jackson Beam, and that sub of the game is brought to you by Subway of Boger City. Next up is the offensive player of the game, brought to you by Rhodes and Beal Oil Company of Lincolnton.
Yep, so the offensive player of the game tonight, we're going to give it to the senior quarterback of the Mustangs, Tyler Mizell. We talked about his numbers a moment ago. He did it with his arm, did it with his legs. Just an impressive all-around performance when his team needed him. Through the air, 13 of 21 for 160 yards. He's had bigger games, but most importantly, took care of the football, no turnovers. Exactly what you want out of your signal caller. And then he really started off the game. He really kind of set the tone running the ball early on. Finished with 13 carries for 79 yards. And that includes a sack in there that lost about 9 yards. So a good night for Mizell, and he is your offensive player of the game.
Brought to you by Rhodes and Beal Oil Company of Lincolnton. Next up, the defensive player of the game, brought to you by Triad Corrugated Metals of Lincolnton, and I don't think there'll be a surprise here.
Yeah, no, this one was the easiest one of the 4 to pick. That's senior middle linebacker Ben Cutter. I mean, what more do you have to say? That last play of the ball game, the interception to seal it and send his team to the state championship game. Who else would it have been but Ben Cutter? He's been the leader of this defense for years now. He's been playing on varsity since he was a freshman. Just an all-around stud. There's no telling how many tackles he had tonight. I'm sure it was in the double digits.
And it's kind of eerily similar because one of the state championship games for East Lincoln, I can't remember if it was 2012 or 2014, there was a huge defensive play. I believe it was an interception on the last play of the game that sealed the state championship up there. So kind of deja vu all over again here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, maybe Cutter's got one more in him next weekend.
He may. So Ben Cutter is your Triad Corrugated Metals defensive player of the game. And finally, it's our overall player of the game, brought to you by Rye Heating and Air of Lincolnton.
Yeah, that's the workhorse in the backfield for the Mustangs tonight. That's sophomore running back Chris Daly. Was really the closer in this ball game for their offense. He didn't see it too much in the first half. South Point seemed to be pretty keyed in on him from the jump after his big night last week. That opened some things up for Mizell early, but Daly was definitely the featured ball carrier in the second half. Got it 13 times after halftime. 20 carries total for the ball game, 113 yards, and the touchdown on the first drive that set the tone. So another big game for the sophomore running back, Chris Daly, and he is your Rye Heating and Air of Lincolnton overall player of the game in tonight's victory.
So the players, fans, and coaches are still out on the field for both teams. Pictures being taken for South Point. Again, fantastic season. They finished 13-2. Nothing to hang their heads about. They got to this point in the playoffs last year, got to the state semifinals, and then Dudley took them out 38-0. So a second straight year of disappointment at the end, but only one team goes home happy in the state playoffs at the end of each season.
That's exactly right. It's this East Lincoln team here tonight. Mentioned just a moment ago, perfect season still intact, 15-0 heading into next week's state championship game. That'll be Saturday night, 7 o'clock against Northern Nash right here.
Who's got to be
KTC Broadcasting.
Who's got to be 15-0 as well.
Yeah, they are
the number one seed.
Number one seed out there in the East. So we'll definitely learn more about them between now and next Saturday.
That will be the case. So again, the final score on the First Federal Savings Bank scoreboard, with the locations in Lincolnton, Boger City, Denver, and West Lincoln, is East Lincoln 14, South Point 7, The Mustangs are the 3A West regional champions and will play next Saturday night at NC State, 7 p.m., and you can hear the ball game here on KTC online and other stations as well. So we thank you for joining us. We thank Kevin and JP back in the studio for doing the commercials and running the pregame interviews for us. I'm Dave Potter along with Matt Chapman. Thank you for joining us. Good night, and we'll see you next week at NC State.
Since 1993, Jeff's Auto Sales has been serving this area with the finest in late model cars, trucks, SUVs, and more. Locally owned and operated too. With 2 locations to serve you. Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall, and on Highway 27 East in Lincoln. And financing is no problem. See how easy it is to get your next vehicle for as little as $500 down. You heard right, as little as $500 down. Jeff's Auto Sales. Check out their complete inventory at jeffsautosales.com. You may wonder what makes us different here at First Federal Savings Bank. We have been intertwined with this community for over 80 years. Here at First Federal Savings Bank, we take pride in Lincoln County, and that's why you see us donating time and resources to local charities and the schools in our community. Being a hometown bank is more than just a saying for us. It's about action and impact in the community in such a way that present and future generations are proud to call Lincoln County home. Stop in and see us here at First Federal Savings Bank today.